Hello and welcome. Welcome to. I'm still stumbling on my words for the beginning of this. Can you imagine that? After all of those years. Welcome to Drakenmemoria. What is Drakenmemoria, you may ask? Well, it's Dungeons and Dragons, or more specifically, a group of people playing Dungeons and Dragons. So, if this is not something you want to watch, well, it's weird that you're actually there if that's not what you want to watch, because you usually have to enter search words. So, but who knows? You misclick. I don't know. Internet can be a strange place. But if this is not what you want to watch, well, please go ahead. Click on something else. Do something else. Go to the bathroom. It helps. It helps to clear the mind. But if you actually want to be here, no matter the reason, as long as you stay civil in the chat, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you with us. If you're new, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. We are supposed to be a full group tonight. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about Remy, so hopefully he'll be there. And don't worry, Jorg's there. It's just his image that's frozen.
Oh. Hello.
We got the audio, but we see your head in large format. So the image is going to unfreeze at one point. All right. What else can we say? Oh yeah, if you like the thunderstorm in the background, that's on the map mixer. If you like the world map, it's WonderDraft. If you like the dungeon map, it's Dungeon Alchemist. And I forgot to put the information below the window, but we might have a village tonight, which means Canvas of Kings. It's an app on Steam. Yeah, I think that's everything there needs to be said. All right. So, where is my introduction for tonight? Oh yeah, here. With this, let's get started. Hopefully, Remy will be here by the time we get inside of the episode. Although, Remy is probably the one that's the easiest to justify that we didn't hear him. Because he doesn't talk a lot anyway, so, Alright. Last episode. Oh. You don't need to have the thunderstorm over and over again. Our party kept on shopping for the next quest. Yeah, that's right. It was mostly a shopping episode. As well as started to prepare for the quest after. Imagine that. Our party preparing for the next quest before the current one is finished. I think I'm starting to be proud of them. Well, mostly. Wary of the corruption that might have taken root in its religion, Audience decided to reach out to people who might have a different and informed point of view of his religion. Meanwhile, our rogue, who is not here right now, finally brought a magical feather to the merchant, who promised him a cloak with power using the properties of the feather he would bring. Finally, after witnessing the new ornamental choice of Fisher, they all went to bed and had a relaxing, untroubled night, unburdened by unsettling dreams of any kind. Yes, that was a sarcastic phrase. Yeah, that's about it. That's exactly where we finished last episode. All right. Damn, Remy's still not here. Is his computer at least on? No. All right. Hopefully he'll be there. Tobiyashi, Can you give me a sign that we can hear you?
No.
Okay, that's good. All right. So, well, we'll put Remy's image here for now. Hopefully, he'll be there before too long. I'll send him a private message. We need Remy. One exclamation mark or two? Let's put two. All right. So, morning comes. Audience, Jorg, and Remy all had ominous visions, dreams, prediction about what was going to happen the next morning. Tobiashi, you went to bed very early because for some reason you suddenly became very tired during the day, and so you went to bed before everyone else. So you're probably the first one up, being very rested as a parent.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, got an answer. Does that mean Remy's... Oh, no. That's a group answer. Ah, okay. Setting up. All right. Good. Remy will be here tonight. All right. So, you wake up. I don't remember. I think you were all nearly at the same place. Tobiashi's room was a bit further away because he changed room, but you're still in the same corridor as everyone else. So everyone wakes up. George, Remy, audience. Fisher doesn't need to sleep, so... Well, I don't know. Fisher, would you have slept the day before? It's the garden.
Probably.
Okay.
It's the safest place to sleep.
All right. Make a roll.
Six.
Well, you tried to sleep.
Or wait, sleeping is a save, right?
No, that's...
Or is it the check?
No, you're right. Dreaming is a save. Getting access to your mental landscape is a roll. So which one did you try and do?
Dream. Okay, or sleep. But yeah, the save.
That would be the same roll?
Yeah. Which, because I took the feat, I have a +5, so actually 11.
Oh, no.
It's not the 6. It's still not good, but it's not 6.
Yeah, definitely. Since this is you taking a rest, do you want to use your coin for that past day?
No.
No?
I don't think so.
Okay.
It's not important enough.
All right.
Or Fisher's not.
He doesn't think it.
I think he's more in the trying to sleep to chill out and not like wanting to like trying to have a dream of some sort.
He's hoping to not. He was just hoping to relax and not have disturbing dreams.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, it worked. You were able to relax yourself and not have disturbing dreams. You took a few moments to regale yourself with your son's wonderful imagination. Of course, the first thing he did when you took him out and put him on the table, you were sort of hoping he would notice the difference. Then you remembered, right, he doesn't have any eyes. So he doesn't know something changed.
That also gives me a reassurance that what I did didn't do anything magically fucked up to me. Because that's how he sees. It just literally just physically changed.
Yeah. So that's good. At least anyone using detect magic won't be able to detect you more. I mean, you have
Everyone
pretty
who does
powerful.
have eye.
Yeah.
You have normal eyes, it'll be easy to see anyway.
You already have a pretty powerful magical object that you shove inside of your chest that probably glows like.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you're
And the fact that I myself am a
magical being.
artificially created magical being.
All things that help so much.
Yeah.
Like
Hey,
but
I
have you
wasn't
received the
built
latest
for
update?
stealth, okay?
if you're perfectly chrome and the environment is like reflecting off of you,
Tobiashi
you might
doesn't
actually
know.
get better stealth.
So you had a relaxing night.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Jorg. It's just a reflex.
Oh,
Tobiashi doesn't know. He only realized what happens when
forgot.
he gets out of his room and decides to
I
rejoin with the
know what
group.
Toby doesn't.
Because Tobiashi, one thing that happens when you decide to come down the hallway and rejoin with the group, who's probably already started going to the inn, where it's usual place where everyone can meet up, have a small breakfast. You know, the garden's pretty nice with all of this. You can always eat at half price compared to the world outside. That's so nice. When you arrive, of course, Fisher, the gnomes kept on playing with you as they did last episode. You were sort of oblivious to it, but maybe today it's going to annoy you a little bit. Because the moment you enter into the tavern, the gnome starts shining lights on you again, and they start going with the music.
Aha.
Yes, they enjoyed the new stroboscope. Tobiashi, when you enter the inn, of course there's a weird moment where the party this early in the morning, and then you realize, okay, what's happening? Fisher is chromed from head to toe.
Damn.
It spit shine chrome right out of the factory. And gnomes are just having fun, shining small beams of light on him, with a beat in the background just going.
Well, I'll look at him for a second. I look at the gnomes, look back at him. I go to take a seat.
Morning.
Good morning. Wait, is everyone here yet?
Yeah.
So we have to meet Sarn outside. Over by. I was gonna name it something else because I've been working on my own D&D thing. Give me 1 second. The Dragon Capital, whatever their name is.
Cornfield? The
Yes.
Dragonborn capital?
Donkadopolis.
Oh. Sorry,
Oh, wrong
that's his name now.
So why do you want to go all the way to the Dragonborn capital?
I think that's where we have to start. At least that's where we figured out all the stuff for it.
I think
Unless he's just going to guide us there.
I think you're mixing quests.
Wait, we're doing the Blessed Grove one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one.
It's on this island.
I think I'm switching people. That's what I'm doing.
Hey.
Because I went with Onak to go over there because that was the most forest that we knew of. So I had him check around and talk to the trees over there.
Okay. Do you have a twin who might have been with us for the past few weeks? You remember going to the monastery, right?
No. Yeah, I'm talking about before I went to the monastery.
Okay.
When I went to go get these first side missions started, that's what happened.
Yeah, it's just that I don't know where you took the thing about going to Kahornathil. Because that's on another island chain, all the way north. What you want to do...
Or no, I went to the nearest capital. Yeah, I went to the nearest, biggest capital.
The biggest city?
Otanel? Yeah, Otanel. That's what it was.
Okay.
Very different.
Went to Otanel. Yeah, we were going to meet in front of Otanel with Sarn. Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't have my nose open.
Audience goes, that was closer to the conversation I had last night, because I was very confused for a second.
Yeah. Nope. Sorry.
Because I talked with Connie last night, and she was meeting us outside Othadel, so I was about to have to relay some new information.
Yeah. No. Yep.
Remy, you hear in the background two gnomes saying, "Pay up." He doesn't seem to be reacting to Fisher.
Grumble, grumble.
By the way, Fisher, do you have a dimmer for your new look, or is that how we're always going to be?
What new look?
Like how bright you are?
Well, it's only bright because the gnomes are shining a bunch of lights on me. I'm not emitting any light.
He says,
Okay.
as audience, as there's a beam of purple light that just goes right across your eyes and blinds you for a half a second.
It's just the gnomes are shining lights on me. That's why.
Okay. I'm just thinking about sneaking into places, but it's fine.
Okay. Yeah.
But maybe if he reflects his environment, he'll actually be sneakier.
Yeah, it throws off predators.
Mm-hmm.
Jorg knows what's up. It makes it harder to distinguish my outline
Yeah, Jorg.
Yeah.
In your brain, it just...
because everything's a mirror.
In your brain, it just explodes. Oh, yeah, it's gonna push away all the crows and stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's fine, I'm sure.
There it is.
Oh, I was hoping you'd say it out loud.
Oh, me?
Yeah, because it would have upsetted Remy.
Alright.
So,
Oh.
So you guys... Are you guys ready to head
I know.
on to now? I think we're meeting Connie there.
I am ready.
Alright. And she was going to bring Sarn, I think. Our contact Sarn to meet us.
yeah, he was gonna be there. All right.
Alright. Let's go to the portal.
Well, and also collecting Oranek, because I don't believe we desummoned him.
No.
Well,
But hey, we're going to a druid grove, so maybe he'll be happy.
well, you do have 2 days
Yeah,
of
yeah, that's
walk.
why you
So
contacted him. Yeah.
you do have 2 days of walk, so you'll have the time to unsummon him, let him recover all of his spells, and summon him back again.
Can Sar not just travel us through trees?
Well,
don't
if you
know.
insist.
I mean, I just assumed he could because he's Sar.
I mean, how sensitive would that be, though? Shoving a tree inside of another tree.
So you really want to shove yourself inside of the hole of a tree, yeah? Yeah.
I've just seen Sar do it before. I think we've actually done it with Sar before.
Yeah, you can travel to trees. Good
Yeah,
lord, we have a
I
lot of
could do
people
that
in
too.
chat tonight. Hello, Roselta. Haven't seen you in a while. All right. So yeah, you all gather up. You leave the inn and leave behind the disco music and environmental distraction that Fisher brought with him. Yeah.
Woo! Take it off! Take it off!
He can't. It's part of him. That's the charm.
You can take some of it off. It just takes like an hour, and it's a whole thing.
We'll have to cover you in mud.
All right. I was considering just giving you something to dim the whole thing, but you look so proud of it. So proud about the whole thing, so I didn't.
You know, it actually really is a shame that that Jorg isn't a wildflower druid, because then we could finally have the ultimate match between Chrome and Firefox.
Whoa!
All right. So you gather your group, you gather your party. That felt oddly Baldur's Gate like. You gather your party and you leave the inn. Take the teleportation device. And once again, you find yourself outside of Otanel. Connie is not far. She's waiting for you. Has that moment of... Then she sees you arriving. Oh, good. You're here. Maybe you can help me figure out what he's doing. You look where she's you look where she's looking at, and you see Sarn. He seems to be making a large circle in the dirt, moving backward with one of his feet. He just lets his feet drag on the outside of the circle. And he seems to be making a really nice circle. But he just keeps doing that over and over and over again. It takes him a good 2 or 3 minutes to close the circle. But then he starts again. And slowly he's digging a trench in the ground.
No, not a druid.
Can I knowledge? I guess I could ask him, but I'll knowledge.
I was gonna say Connie
Would that
is a
be-
druid and she doesn't know, so it might not be druidic knowledge.
Good point.
Might just be doing Sarn things.
Consarnate.
I can ask him. Hey, Sarn, what are you doing there?
He takes a moment to finish the circle he started. When he arrives at the end of the circle, he looks up. Oh, right, you're all here. Well, I'm making a circle.
Any purpose to that circle?
Of course. So, when do we leave?
Whenever you're ready.
He looks at the circle for a moment. Yeah, I can finish that later.
Okay.
All right.
Do you
Is
want
there
us to
some
travel normally?
druidic thing you
go.
can teach me with that circle?
Oh, there's a lot
or
of things
whatever
I can
he just
teach you
said.
with circles.
Hmm.
It's an
True.
amazing shape. It's one of the rare shape that you can find naturally. Mostly in minerals.
Mm-hmm.
But did
And
you know
in
that there are no actual
bubbles and stuff.
yeah, but do you know that there's no actual sphere in nature. There can be polished things. And he looks at you, Fisher. A bit like this. But no natural spheres.
Bubbles are spheres.
That's a good point. But they seem to be wobbly a bit. You know,
True. They're not perfect.
They just keep going. Whoom, whoom, whoom.
Mm-hmm.
So is it actually? Oh, sorry. You seem to be getting a little bit impatient about this. And he looks at you, Tobiashi.
Yeah.
No, I was just gonna tell one of them to summon Ornak. Or is he coming here? Does he know he's supposed to be here?
You not
I thought we didn't
when
unsummon him.
Remy said like 10 minutes ago that we grabbed Ornak.
Oh, okay. Did grab him on our way. I thought he was meeting us here. Anyways.
I'm already here, as he just reveals himself from the trees.
Well, yeah, we're ready.
Yep. Do we want to travel there, or Sarn, are you gonna tree walk us there?
Well, that's really up to you. I can follow no matter how you want to do this. I have rock. Rock can be a mount for me.
Mm-hmm.
Or I think I know what you're referring to. We just need to find a tree large enough for everyone.
I see. So we couldn't tree walk through Oranak. We couldn't use Oranak as like a thing to tree walk through. Just for future knowledge.
Well, not all of you would be able to, but also I'm not sure he would accept. But it's
Okay.
really up to him if he doesn't mind. I've never tried on an actual living tree before. I've always just been told that it's extremely rude to do so. Like,
no, I'm sure. I just wanted to know if there was ever a possibility for it.
Well,
if we were in dire straits.
I've never tried before. I've never tried, so maybe it's possible. Would probably be very uncomfortable. Like someone suddenly saying they can travel through you by pushing themselves through your belly button.
Oranak, thoughts on this conversation, or
Is this transportation via plants we're talking about?
Yeah.
A bit higher level than
'cause
that, but yes.
To my druidic knowledge, the tree needs to be big enough for us to fit like a large or larger tree.
That's why he said you wouldn't all be able to fit in. Tobiashi would, Remy would, but the audience and Fisher.
we could get a couple of you out in a dire strait.
What if we just keep unsummoning and resummoning him until the big guy comes, and then transport?
I wonder how long that would take.
I think certain conditions have to be met from what I've seen usually for the big guy to come.
The meta of it is there are a few occasions where you're guaranteed during the entire story. There are a few occasions where you're guaranteed to get him. Other than that, every time you summon him, I roll a d20.
Suddenly, like half an hour later, it's like there's just a pile of Ornak corpses.
I think if you abuse that, you'd probably have less and less chance of the big one coming here. Ornak is sort of bound to answer whenever you plant him, but Turanhe isn't.
I figured that the more we did it, the more likely Tornhay would come and just kill us all.
Yeah.
For Ornak's
I'm done with this, dude.
Yeah, well, maybe if you really abuse it, but most likely he'd just stop coming.
It's like we keep running up and knocking on the door, and Ornak has to answer, but the other guy's there. And so if we keep knocking and then not telling Ornak to go away and then keep knocking, eventually he's going to get annoyed and come down and, I don't know, throw us off the porch.
Stop ringing the bell!
It's like, or even more simply, like, sure, Tyranny will grow, but then the tree will immediately fall on top of us.
Yeah.
Due to all the unstable soil we've created from all these trees.
It's nature's version of
depleted.
It's nature's version of polymorph. He all changes you into trees. Your races all change to the small wardens that you saw inside of the magical forest.
And we're in the wrong system for everybody in the party to be vulnerable to fire.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, Sarn looks at all of you. So which way do you want to travel? Do you want to find a tree? Or do you want to go on foot, horse, magic carpet? I don't know what object you might have found
How
recently.
far is it?
I mean, I wouldn't mind a nature walk, but up to everybody else.
I assumed time was kind of the essence, so I assumed we'd try and get there as quick as possible, since we have other things.
Was that in the job? I guess Connie needs it whenever she needs it. It's not like... I guess for us, since we have
just
another
in our
mission.
general lives, time is of the essence.
Well,
Just our general lives.
it's more a question of you decide, because it's a side quest. Technically, it's not unskippable. It's because Tobiyashi wants to tame a demon spider. So while the end of the world is slowly coming.
This is why we're going to the druid place?
No, yeah, it's to help Connie. Connie needs...
It's a go fetch this because
But we're going to a place that could help us out in the future to talk to these druids. So
Yeah.
Also, apparently, there
wanna
might be
ask them
something
about
else
the-
important going on there, like with stuff.
Yeah.
Audience looks vaguely off into the distance.
Mm-hmm.
something about elves
You
and
have the
something. I don't
dream,
know.
too.
We'll see. Yeah.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
still
I did
holding
have
out
a
for the
dream.
underground casino.
There was something about flying through an elvish village in the mountains or something. I don't remember what that was about, but
That was
might have been
something
a
I
dream.
gave up on.
It's like that was something I gave up on.
That's another side quest that audience is not sure he wants to do anymore.
Yeah.
we do have to find a griffin bone after this.
Okay. Well, I think we should go through the tree because I think we should save as much time as possible.
All right, tree it is.
All right.
Yeah.
We can cover a good distance, and yeah, should be able to put us close to.
he just takes us to a tree. It's like, you said you just wanted to travel through a tree. You never said where you wanted to go.
You end up on another island chain. Where are we?
So welcome to Jurassic Park. Da, 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 da.
All right. So, let's look at the map. Where can you be deposited? So, essentially, near a little bit of hills, just at the edge of the forest. Okay. You take a moment to find a large enough tree to accommodate audience and fisher. What kind of day it is? Is it?
Is it windy?
Oh, we're out of the windy season.
That doesn't mean anything.
We've established that it's very windy in the Mistle Island
It's just
chain.
always windy.
Yeah, that's why there aren't a lot of trees in a huge crescent-like shape, because it's a wind corridor. The wind bounces off the mountain. They're perfectly placed, so it just makes a crescent shape. So it's always windy.
I guess it has, because we skipped that time, it has like cycled back around and been like, so it's kind of the same season again.
Yeah, you basically arrived 1 month before you left. You were gone 11 months. So now it's been a month because of everything you waited and the quest that you did. So right now you are exactly at the moment you were when you left last time. That's interesting. That changes a little bit the scenery. Most of the leaves outside would have fallen off the trees right now. You'd be at that phase where it's no longer extremely pretty when you look outside with all of the golden reds and just a few green leaves. It's mostly just brown leaves right now everywhere, in trees and on the floor. It's starting to be a little bit colder. Well, I guess Jorg and Remy are the only one who actually feels it. Fisher and audience are a bit more resilient to that, and Tobiashi, well, you're no longer human, so... yeah. You find a tree. It's nearly time for winter, so most of its leaves have fallen, but Sarn looks at all of you. All right, be prepared. It's a little bit of a jump, but we should be arriving close enough. The village is a bit of a way out of the forest. They were warned several times to keep clear of the grove. It is actually a bit of an old one, so many creatures trust this place, and you should see a few interesting nature creatures. I'm sure there might probably be creatures like dryads. And well, you'll see. All right, follow me inside the tree. He takes a moment, casts a spell, puts a hand inside of the tree, and suddenly the tree just open up, and you see on the other side. Bit on the other side of a hill. You don't see the village. Huh. I was expecting to get there a bit closer than that. Alright. Well, everyone get in.
Alright.
Alright.
I walk in.
Turns out the tree is on its side.
God. I come right out into the ground. Luckily, I could slip through.
You couldn't see it, but the tree was on its side, but you're coming out of the upper extremity. So the moment you step out, not only are you on your side like this, but then you fall.
Well, I'll make it. I could fall from high now.
Yeah, that's right. You're the first one in, so you fall, slightly lose your shape, and then retake it, and then audience. God damn it! Sure, please, no more. You start oozing out of the pile.
Well, this is life now.
Oh. Sarn is the last one to go in. Connie also goes in. Sarn, let's look at all of this. So, it usually takes me closer, more where I wanted to go, but right, okay, that's a bit strange.
Maybe your powers are failing due to the instability of nature.
Well, you'd have to have something pretty severe for something like that to happen. I mean, all trees are connected in some way. He starts walking as he's saying this. You're on the other side of a small hill. But, you know, I don't think anything like that is warranted here. The people are pretty nice. I've been here 40 years ago. They were pretty nice. I saw them. There's
Good,
been
so recently.
no, but there's been a druid that's been coming here every 7 years. So, and the last one was actually 6 months ago. So I'm sure everything's fine. The druids would have said something if something was wrong. You'll see, it's a very pleasant place. I'm sure that it will appear on maps very soon. As you're all walking up the hills, as he says this, the moment you
This very ominous uphill walk. Just like, I'm sure everything's fine. It was okay 6 months ago.
Subtle foreshadowing.
Audience and Fisher, because you're the tallest.
Quickly switches to us, like on our hands and knees in front of fire. Everything scorched around us.
That felt a lot like Invader Zim when I said, Audience and Fisher, you're the tallest. Because the leaders of the race of Invader Zim, they're called the tallest, and they're the leaders because they're the tallest.
That checks out.
Yeah,
That's good logic.
You're the first one to be able to see over the hill, and this place looks heavily industrialized. You see a little village. It's not far away. It's maybe 30, 40 minutes away of walk. But there are no trees around this place. It's just fields and dust and dirt for a very large area around that little community. Actually, I think I've been playing with Canvas of King, and I think I can give you that with enough precision that you can actually see.
Oh.
Like, looks like we sped up to the Industrial Revolution.
Well, the initial stage, anyways.
You know what?
Okay.
Fair, yes. It's like, so we're looking more like 1500s Industrial Revolution, not quite 1700s.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need all druids in the party to brace themselves before they look over this hill. I just want you guys to be prepared.
Oh no.
It's just a bunch of oil mining.
It's like, oh no. It's just like it starts
Oil
smelling like,
drills.
oh no, do I smell smoke?
Yeah,
It's
it's the
smoke,
scene.
all right.
It's the scene from Avatar when they're like crushing all the trees and trying to
Oh,
get to the big one.
Well, not quite that big. I think gnomes would hesitate a bit more to
Oh,
destroy.
yeah. Actually, maybe a more apt comparison would be Omashu.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Like during book 2.
So, audience and Fisher, you're the first one to see, and then in order of height, you'd have Jorg, and then and Tobiashi and Connie, and Remy, and
Plus dog.
and Onak, and the last one would be Sarn. As you're all looking over that hill, seeing that small village surrounded by fields, the forest being very far away, there's a large buffer between the fields and the forest. It used to be forest, but it's all been cleared. You see a few trunks that have clearly been cut. It's not like they were broken or pulled apart. They were clearly cut.
I wasn't imagining this at all.
What the fuck have they done
Sarn
to
is the last
this
one
place?
to peek over the hill. And he looks at all of this. There's a brief moment where he just stops. But where is it? They touched it. They were told not to. They said they wouldn't.
Who did this?
They said
Never that easy.
they wouldn't. They were told not to.
Oh, he's about to crash
Sarn,
out.
who did this?
Remy, because of your high passive perception, you're the first one that feels it and that sees this. There's an image that starts appearing on Sarn's cloak. It starts becoming more and more visible. There was a very fine embroidery on it, and it's starting to glow, taking power of it. But more than that, and Jorg, you're probably the first one who feels it, then followed by Fisher. And after that, audience and Remy, and unfortunately, Tobiashi, because you don't have any inherent magical ability, you're the last one to feel it. you're the only one that's not a spellcaster, so sorry.
Yeah, I have all my spells from other people.
Yeah. You feel energy coming from the land. It rises. It's becoming more and more potent. Jorg, it nearly feels like right now you'd be able to cast small spells with the same ease as you would cast a cantrip.
Ooh.
You feel it everywhere. It's rising from the ground, moving up in a bit of a mist. It starts pulling all around you and gathering. you hear Sarn saying, "They were told not to.
Yeah. Let's fucking do this,
They
Sarn.
will
Hey
All
guys,
right.
pay
Let's
for
not
it."
do
Chill
anything
out.
too rash before we know what's going on.
I mean,
When
I
he
get
if
I think we can
says-
tell what's going on.
When he
Look at this
says they
shit.
will pay for it, you hear his voice change. The magical energy gathers and grabs him. You see vines starting to pull out from the ground and twist around
no
his
stopping him now.
ankle. It moves him up, and you see his hair just starting to float. You feel the energy coming out from him, and his voice is no longer his. Probably Tobiashi and audience would be the first one to recognize this. He is being possessed by what would most likely be described as the power of a good nature god.
All right.
His voice changed, cracks, feels powerful.
I'm gonna try to keep up with them, so I start to
not
stretch.
to interfere with the grove. They will all die for this.
Yeah, hey, maybe, not all of them, punish those that made the decision and not everybody who wasn't involved, who just
Or
kind of
maybe-
lives here now.
Yeah.
Sarn,
We don't know what's going on. Can we at least figure out what's going on? It's all calm down. Take a deep breath.
Sarn turns to you, Fisher, because you're the first one who spoke.
Mhm.
And you see his eyes. Usually the eyes of his race are of a single dark color, usually black or gray, but his are glowing white. He says, "Are you siding with them?
I
I don't
am
think there's any
Construction
sides
of
suggesting
men?"
caution and clarification before unchecked vengeance.
Connie interferes. She does not want to look directly at him. She looks down at where the roots are. Just, please, please. He might be right. Not everyone may be guilty of this. You see her hands are shaking as she's trying to talk to this incarnation. They may all be right. We don't know the circumstances. You see Sarn. I smell the blood of druids. They attacked. Well, you probably have a good point there, and also it gives what they're saying. Wait. She looks at you, Jorg, for a brief moment, as if, come on, say something, help me, or they're all gonna die. She gives you that stare at that moment.
Like a Raimi Minor Illusions, The Visage of a Child.
Yes, there has to be children in there. They can't be guilty.
Sarn. She's right.
The grove.
We'll find vengeance.
The grove must be rekindled. They
destroy
must be removed. He starts moving forward a bit. Connie again puts herself in front. Please let us go in first. Or if you want to be sure, let them go first. I will stay here. I will act as a bridge between them and you. please, give them a chance. Give them a chance to at least separate the guilty from the not guilty. Don't kill everyone. At least let those who did not commit this survive. Please. She looks at all of you. She needs help. She wants help to convince this.
At least a day or two. I would like to figure out exactly what happened without us just totally destroying the place.
Tobiashi, I want to remind you, you know this, you are speaking to most likely the Sarn, an incredibly powerful druid, with a cloak that boosts his power in such a way that they are probably unimaginable right now, and he is being turned into an avatar by a god.
Just give us 2 days, like Connie said, so we can figure this out, and we'll go in there. At least 2. I mean, if he's going to go in there anyways, give us at least 2. We could separate the good from the bad, make sure that they're not all evil, and see exactly what happened so we could save at least the innocent.
Sarn, as a man of nature, you have to stop this. This is not what we're here for.
This is the thing. You're talking to a nature deity. Sarn is a druid. It's the extreme of a same spectrum. Jorg, you recognize, you more than the others recognize this. You see in front of you the 2 ends of the spectrum. On one side, you have something that wants to exact the full extent of the duties of the druid. Uphold the balance, protect nature. The destruction of a grove can have lasting effect on the land. And right now, the villagers probably feel very energized by whatever they've done, because they have the fruit of everything they stole from that grove, if they stole anything at all. But in long term, the land is slowly going to die here. And you have Connie on the other end of that spectrum, the one that seems to agree more with all of you. But as a druid, you know exactly what it means when she says this. The village is lost. It is going to be destroyed. There's nothing you can do to save it. What Connie is implying is that you will go inside and you will flag the guilty, whomever they are, and they will pay with their lives. No matter who they are, no matter what they say. If you miss people, guilty ones, their death will most likely bring with them innocence.
Yep.
But one way or the other, you have to separate the guilty from the innocent. Take them out of the village. One group or the other needs to be taken out of the village, and they will die. No matter who they are. It could be men, it could be women, it could even be children if they participated in this. That is the other end of the druidic spectrum. You are giving a chance to the innocent, but that is it. Or you can side against an all-powerful avatar who possessed one of the most powerful druid your world has ever seen. You, Jorg.
Roll initiative.
Roll initiative.
Roll initiative, boys.
As much as I would like to say anything else, the 2 days is all I have, guys. I cannot persuade anybody to do anything. I literally have a +0.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you want to say something, Jorg?
I beseech you, O God of nature, let us act for you and find the guilty, and we will round them up like herding dogs for your slaughter. But spare the innocents, please.
That's what I'm talking about.
I love dogs.
How dare you? Your dog is hearing you say that.
All right, I'll let you roll. Poor choice of word will make it so that I do not give you advantage on your roll, but I do allow you to roll.
Maybe it at least possibly cut in to the best of his ability, because Zach can't say everything that he would say in this situation.
Okay.
It's like I'm imagining probably like in the voice of one of his friends, like it's like my hands are just as capable of good as they are of evil.
Mm.
And then points to the illusion of the child.
Yeah. Audience would also step in
Okay.
and say, seeing Jorg struggle a little bit, but also doing his best.
Okay.
Be like, listen, as a paladin of the light, it is my duty to judge those innocent and evil.
Sorry.
Okay.
Those innocent and evil. Let me be one of the judges. Let me help judge those who are tarnished in shadow and those who are not. For well a grove can be brought up by the blood into the light. If it is upon the blood of those innocents, a shadow will always remain. You do not want the new seed to have a shadow already residing within its core. Let me spare that seed of that shadow.
Okay.
Said.
Oh, we could do that thing, like the Lord of the Rings thing. No, as the follower of the light. No,
Well, you started a bit wonky, but the rest was good. Okay. Anyone else wants to add something before I
I
force
was gonna say,
Jorg to roll?
I'm basically the same thing. So as I'll
Okay.
say, as a worshiper of the light, let me do the same.
You
I don't know
see
what else everyone else
Connie
could say.
wince every time someone says they're a servant of the light.
Dang.
Jorg, you know why.
Nature's different. That's a different.
No. They're all
It's a
about
whole
good.
different
Don't
thing.
worry about it.
Maybe he's just like backing up slowly with the hands. Just
This is why I mentioned the seed, Toby. The seed! Mentioned the seed. He doesn't care about the light. He cares about nature.
Druids are about the balance. Good and evil must not be a factor in your decision.
He doesn't want the new growth to have rot within it. Decay. Mention words like that.
Okay.
Rot, decay, seeds.
Yeah, let us prevent decay from taking over this land.
All right. Fisher, you're the only one who hasn't...
Fisher doesn't. Fisher's not good.
Fisher,
at-
you are like half
This is not Fisher's
nature or
thing.
something.
All right.
Fisher's trying to. He's already kind of
I have an okay
iffy
nature.
by druid standards. He's a weird arcane machine.
An abomination.
He's trying to. He's like.
Why
backed
does
up
the
a bit.
abomination speak? No.
Yeah, he's staying out of this kind of as much as he can.
All right.
That's
All right. George, you can make your roll.
Oh, in high.
all right. Persuasion. Can I use guidance on myself?
As you're doing
No.
this, please.
I think, does Fisher have a way to enhance abilities? He
I got
might roll.
13. Oh, I do
I
have
could
bless.
cast enhance ability, but also, I mean,
I don't know that.
I'm not.
No, that's
a
attack
huge
So essentially, he doesn't want to waste a
casting.
spell on this. Jorg, what's your result?
Yeah. Door.
I got a
Proficiency in
13.
persuasion.
Actually, I'll cast the big feast and say, "You're not you, and you're hungry."
It's just a giant Snickers bar.
Giant Snicker. You're not.
We're not sponsored by Snickers. It's not going to do anything.
All right, never mind. I rolled a 13 then.
All right.
You
Not
and you're
you, and you're
hungry.
hungry.
Well, technically, you are speaking to a god, so you can probably make this a prayer, and I'll allow you to make it guidance.
Okay.
Because you are talking
I
to
get
the
one
avatar of a god,
D.
so you are essentially praying to that thing.
Yeah, that makes it a 14.
I think Jorg is nervous.
And also kind of wants revenge. He's like,
I know. I was in
not
for the revenge
100%
bar, but,
commitment committed to the. But no, he knows. I know. We can't kill just random people that weren't involved.
All right. With a roll like this,
He might only let us save the children.
Only the children. Okay.
so
I thought I
fine
was
with
the
that.
one that was gonna go.
once again, I wish you could see what I rolled. The avatar looks at you, Jorg, after you finish making your plea, and everyone tries to help you. The avatar says, "This body can hold me for 5 days. You have 3.
I need the other 2 days to lay complete waste over this city.
I think that's kind of what he's going for. Thank you, Lord God.
Yeah,
Sir.
even for Druid, it can be a bit awkward because is he a god or is he just a spirit of nature? For everyone else, it's a god, but for you, you can say it whatever way you want to.
Yeah, thank you, Spirit of Nature. We will make use of that time.
They both
Yep.
sign your paychecks.
All right, guys, let's get to work. We got to build a boat big enough to hold animals 2 by 2.
All right.
All right. Connie looks.
All right,
Connie looks at
Starts
all
at a
of you
brisk
before
pace
you
towards
leave.
the-
Please don't fail.
Can't promise anything. Let's go.
Well, you won't.
If
No, we won't.
It-
Raimi smacks you in the back of the head.
Trying to light up the mood.
I'm not
she
one known for failure.
she takes the orb and says, "Keep me informed."
We'll do.
Will do. All right, let's go. Jorg, also no rampages while we get down there.
Damn.
All right.
I'm really looking forward to see this Sarn guy. But okay, let's go.
Like, Raimi already had his bow ready. She's like, "Aw."
I know. I was ready to run in there, man. I wanted to keep up with them. See it firsthand.
We are not the dark justicars of this nature.
Well, no, I
Congress.
mean,
we are the time
more
guys,
in them stopping Jorg, because then he doesn't have the chance to stop Jorg.
Oh. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Listen, I'm just trying to clarify before we get down there. We were not sent here to like murder the guilty, and we're not dark
no,
justicars here. We're just trying to find the innocent.
Well, Jorg,
Mhm.
I want to find out
Jorg-
what happened though.
Jorg, you'd know that that nature power won't mind if you kill the guilty.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I spend a long time in that nature shard. I'm pretty primal at this point. Like,
And you more
been a
than
demon
everyone else in the
inside
group
Jorg this whole time.
understand the desecration that occurred. You know that there is a dead druid somewhere in there. The grove of that power usually have a guardian. So someone killed a druid. Many people destroyed a grove.
It was the grove that I needed to get to, too.
Yeah. Well, who knows? Maybe there's a branch that's left.
That's the only thing that we cares about.
Yeah, like, all right, guys, let's go and
It's
get the
like, dang,
branch.
we needed a favor from the people here. Now
Yeah,
they're not here.
Let's
Yeah,
go
what
and
the,
get
why
the...
is it never easy?
All right,
Like, come
guys,
on. I mean,
No, it's even easier. We go, we get the branch, and we tell Sarn he's good to go, and we
bro,
they never...
wash our hands with it. We never saw anything.
Hey, you know
They're
what?
all guilty.
Yeah, hey,
Uh-huh.
that's what they said.
All right, clock's ticking.
All right, let's
Yeah.
go.
Well, we're walking, obviously. We're just
Well, yeah, it's it's 30 minutes of walk. You probably walk at a brisk
I mean, we
pace
don't have
also.
to walk. I can teleport us in.
For 30 minutes.
I'll race you there.
That
Let me
was
see if I can make it there in one turn. How many feet away is it?
Well, it's just it's your clock. You can be
Yeah.
there in
Action
6
surge,
seconds,
dash.
or you can be there in 30 minutes.
Yeah, actually, I will teleport us there. I don't think I'm using my helm for other things today.
I know, we have no ships to blow.
You know, I will laugh if like there's like it's an emergency situation, just like, oh no, if only we had 3 uses.
3 exact uses of the helm of teleportation.
Oh no, there's so many people trapped in a burning building. If only we had the ability to make 2 trips.
Wait, but before we go to there, are you guys innocent or guilty?
Bro.
Oh, all right.
All right, I'm teleporting us to the front of the village.
All right. Well,
Actually, no, I want to be more dramatic. I'm gonna teleport us into the middle.
Yeah,
of
there
the
we go. If
village.
we're gonna teleport in, like, let's
Might as well
go
be the
up.
middle.
Yeah.
Immediately cause a carriage wreck. Oh shit!
They just run right into Fisher.
All right,
and, like,
I'm
breaks
TPing
around
us
him.
right into the middle of the main street.
all right.
Center of Main Street.
I'm showing also people who may be watching right now what this village looks like. Yes, this is my first village made with Canvas of Kings. Yay! And it's supposed to be mostly accurate also. So,
Good.
all right. Well, I haven't looked
They
at
really
if
destroyed
it's if it's the right size. I mean by that, I don't know if everything is properly scaled, but it's mostly there. Took me a few days to make it also. I'm still not used to using the program. Alright. So, you teleport right at the center of the village. So, essentially... where is your token audience? So, essentially, you teleport right here. It's going to appear on the map in a moment. So you appear right here. Between the blacksmith, the marketplace, in front of the inn, and you can see at the end of that road, there is the usual temple for worship that every single village, town and city has. Of course,
What's the symbol on it?
The temples are usually do not belong to a single person. Inside, you'll have several deity placed, representing usually the various deity that are usually worshipped in a town. Usually, mostly good or nature-oriented deity, because they want to have good harvest, because they want people to heal their wounded and stuff like this. But they usually are several.
This one's specifically for pig fertility.
The way that
Alright.
the way that it works in this world, it's their family of different species have different names for it. Dwarves call them clusters, elves call them house, but humans call them family of gods. And usually it's not because they're related, it's because their alignment is, sorry for the pun, in alignment with one another. So usually the center, they're the prominent ones. So if they really want to worship nature deity for a good harvest, they'll have that element, the first part of the alignment, let's say good. And any god that shares that element of good will be considered part of the family, but not necessarily the center one. So it could be lawful good, could be chaotic good, could be neutral good. But if good is the center of this place, then all gods similar to the one worshipped will be part of the family, and the others will be considered allies of the family. So this is how it works. So this is why most village pray to a multitude of God. This one, I'd say, because of where it is, because of the importance of nature.
And then there's one god that's just like the Hades of the whole group.
Well, because they don't want to anger one another, they usually won't place it in there. It'll be somewhere else.
Well, they say again. That's why Hades wasn't invited, though.
Yeah. So usually, I'd say for most temple, it's neutral good that's gonna be there. So people don't want too harsh laws, but they also want good to be prevalent. So all deities inside of there will have good, and they will consider flexible deity to be allies of that deity. So on the sides, you'll have neutral gods. So at least you have a confirmation that they worship God belonging to the family of the light. Good.
You better start praying to them.
Flexibility. All right, well, start looking around. Where's the tavern at?
Well, of course, when you do this, it's morning. It's probably
how do people react to,
9:30. So that's usually right after the morning prayer. So you're catching everyone as they're leaving the temple, and they're all slowly going to the marketplace on the other side of where you are to sell their good in the morning and trade and everything like this. So you catch a whole bunch of people that are very surprised of a party of 6, including a living tree, appearing in the middle of their village. Just,
Hey, I thought we all chopped those down already.
guilty!
Everybody pulls out axes. Oh shit, they're all bad.
All right, I'll start heading over in that direction to the marketplace, or wherever they're all heading, so I could get into a group.
I
maybe
think they're
listen in.
all standing awestruck / confused.
He
staring
said
at
some of them were moving.
Jorg really
I am
has
the
to
Lorax, and I speak for the trees. Let me break it down for you. You're
Ornak
fucked.
speaks up. He doesn't speak for me.
fucked.
Hey, audience, ask where the mayor is.
I will. I'll be like, what I actually will say is I'll appear and I'll be like, does this town have a mayor? We need to speak to him.
I almost have thought you were going to say, I come in the name of the dragons.
I don't. I come in the name of a very vengeful nature god.
Yeah.
I come in the name of nature.
You know, Like, come to your own conclusions about which one would be worse, the dragon or the nature god.
I think in this case, the nature god.
They are surrounded by it.
And again, a dragon druid
Ooh.
Ooh.
possessed by a nature god.
Mm.
Well, in this case, I think Sarn is worse. So, all right. Because right now, Sarn is probably the closest thing the closest thing to a demigod that you can get. So, it takes a moment for everyone to just come back of the shock of having a group of people teleport in the middle of their quiet village. You know, it's a very nice, quiet place. You don't hear a whole lot of animals. The wind just seems to be able to blow through the village. You know, usually trees makes it stop it a little bit more, protects a place for this, but there are a whole lot of trees left. So it sort of brings also the smell of the dirt and dust from the fields. Jorg, the fields are way too big. This village doesn't need to have this many fields around it. Remy, you'd know that to cultivate this many fields, they would need extra people. But in a small village like this, jobs are a bit limited. So this village is in danger of developing squalor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna summon Frel.
I think the blacksmith's innocent, guys.
Says
I haven't even seen the guy,
Tobiyashi.
man.
He looks at the blacksmith. Ah, look, that looks like an innocent guy, right? All right, let's move on to someone else.
I just leave like a little scratch on the doorstep of his
It takes a moment, audience, a few minutes before everyone start looking at one another, and eventually someone points at someone, and you have a man probably in his 40s just saying, that would be me. Welcome, Paladin, to our humble village. Is there anything I can do to help you?
Yes, there is, but I believe we should speak in private. Do you have an office or headquarters located?
Yes, of course. Just like in any village. Come. He gestures toward the tavern. In most small village, usually the tavern is both a place where everyone gathers, and also where the mayor would live and receive people.
Everyone else, go about your day.
You got 3 more. Enjoy them while you can now.
You're muted, Fisher.
Make them count.
Make them count.
Make them cowboys. All right, I'll follow the mayor.
I don't know if I want to get info from other people, but
You guys don't all have to follow me. I'm gonna get the
Yeah, that's what I was
information. You guys
thinking.
can start looking
Actually,
around.
It's like Raimi would grab your hand and like whisk you off.
oh, okay, let's go.
Right? Where would you go, Remy? and
Everyone's
Tobiyashi?
allowed to go off on their own except Jorg. I don't know if I trust Jorg.
So Remy and
hang
Tobiyashi
out,
go
Jorg.
one place. Audience go with the mayor. So unfortunately, Fisher or Orunak gets to babysit Jorg.
Well, I think Fisher was coming with me.
Oh damn! Okay, so
Yeah.
Orunak gets to babysit Jorg. Are you,
The Lost Dog wants to come with us too.
are you sure you want to leave a tree to babysit an angry druid?
Jorg, why don't you
alright,
come with
yeah.
us so you can hear the explanation?
Is he there?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I mean, people are people too.
True.
Jorg, are you there?
I'm here. Sorry, I had to
Okay.
pee.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why don't
It
you
happens.
come? Why don't you
On this-
come with
No,
come with us so you can hear the explanation? By the way.
fine. That'd be good.
All right, we're gonna go towards the mayor.
All right. Remy and Tobiashi, where are you going? Just so that I know.
I'm following Remy. I don't know where Remy's going.
It's like, well, honestly, Raimi's first inclination, at least if he's potentially looking for like a source of, of sudden, apparently very sudden change in the terms of like human development, less than 6 months. Looking to like maybe find signs of like individuals perhaps of the less than sortly sort having like been moved in and maybe even making headquarters in this area.
Okay.
It's like they might not advertise themselves, but they might be advertising themselves.
Got it. Yeah. Okay.
I understand
I
what he's doing.
understand what you're looking for.
I'm just trying to overhear people while we're walking around town. See if I hear anything like maybe someone mentions they just got something installed and how long ago or blah, blah, blah. Stuff like that. They just moved here like last week. They gotta be innocent.
I've got this new thing called a space heater.
I
don't
just
know
got
if this
my
is the
water
hunter
cooler
cult.
installed.
It's like all I have to do is take this very enchanted branch, put it into this box,
Oh, my
and I'll be
God.
heated up all winter.
Yeah, where are these branches at? Let me look for those too.
Oh, good heavens! What have I done?
I just gotta light this little branch
Not
on
just
fire.
branch,
and it stays.
though. You also needed to put some griffin bones in the box to really get it to work.
Oh yeah. Wait, now they're. Start
Well,
seeing foaming
no,
at the
Griffin
mouth.
bones go into the air conditioning unit
Oh, there we go. Yeah,
because
yeah.
So not only are you
Get the
looking
fan
for people who just clear cut the forest, but you're also going to look for hunters who made too many safaris inside of the mountain nearby. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And every farmer is guilty.
Of course.
Man, why does everybody look like Crocodile Dundee?
Oh no, actually,
Not the Crocodile Hunter. He's a good bloke. Rest his soul.
All right. So, audience, Jorg, and Fisher. Well, before continuing, would you rather go on the break right now? I know that Jorg just came back from peeing, but
I do need to
That
go
sounds
pee.
good.
In the middle
could
of the
use a pee.
square.
all right.
Don't worry, the Jorg's just.
Georg
Oh,
shows
Jesus,
his
guys, give me a
dissatisfaction
second, I
with
was
the village and just immediately starts peeing.
The mayor's watching him do it too.
Yeah, he just whipped it up, peed right on the side of the tavern.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's what everybody else said.
That's the passive aggressiveness I'm looking
Yeah.
for.
Just like
Mayor just thinks
making-
I came out of the tavern.
making sure that it's full eye contact while he's doing it.
You gotta have that confidence when you're marking your territory.
All right. So, we're going to give everyone a chance to go pee, and we're going to come back after that. All right. Well, technically, it's not marsh right now, but I haven't made a new one. So, all right, we'll be back in 15 minutes. Bye. And we're back. Hello. Okay, here we are. All right. Well, apparently we're gonna start with audience Jorg and Fisher because Tobiashi's not back.
You saw something pretty.
I was back. We're all back.
All right. Damn, now I have to decide which group I do first.
Flip a coin.
I mean, it could be something really hilarious where like the mayor's just talking about things, and then cut back to Raimi and Tobiyashi seeing the exact same thing, but worse than how he's
I'm rolling
describing
a
it.
d20. Toby, are you evens or odds?
Evens.
Okay.
Now that's a D&D player.
It was a 12. It's evens. You're going to Toby.
Okay.
And Raimi's there too, I guess.
Yeah, and Raimi, I guess.
Well, to not make it awkward inside of the mayor's office, Remy, Tobiyashi, and Orunak are there.
It's like, is anyone gonna explain the giant tree? No.
No.
All right. So, Remy, Tobiyashi, and Orunak. So, Remy, you're looking for not obvious stuff.
Yeah, but I can't be more specific than that.
Yeah.
Tobiyashi, are you just following
I'm looking for
Remy,
more
or...
obvious stuff. So, like, just trying to overhear people talking, see if they're talking about like, oh yeah, we just moved in, or like overhearing certain people's conversations about some information that'd be valid to see if they're guilty or not. I've already told Onak that all the farmers are guilty. No shit. And yeah, that's basically what I'm doing. Just trailing, probably trailing a little bit a ways from Remy, so I'm not like, oh my god, I see a fellow thief. Oh, they're with a monk in a tree? What the fuck?
Well, you have the drawing of the village. Tell me where you want to go.
Yeah. Which way were we going? Were we going towards the marketplace?
Yeah. That's where Remy started.
Yeah. Just continue going towards there, walking through, seeing what kind of produce they have.
Okay.
Trying to overhear, just walking around at this point, basically.
All right. So, Tobiyashi, you want to concentrate on hearing the gossip, while Remy, you're concentrating on watching the gossip. All right.
Well, again, it's like not obvious stuff and obvious stuff. I'm not sure how we can make that more clear.
That's the clearest we can make it.
Okay. Well, each one of you make a perception roll. Well, no, you're actively looking. So, no, okay. Remy, that's an investigation because you are looking for things. Tobiyashi,
looking.
because you're just staying there and listening to people, perception roll.
Okay. That's what I was hoping for anyways. Did it roll?
I don't know.
It's been having problems. Give me 1 second. Let me check. Come on.
Raimi gets a 26.
Okay. All right.
It is a 13.
All right.
About the same as my passive, so.
So it's pretty even. All right. All right. Well, Tobiyashi, that really doesn't help you a whole lot. It's you're trying to listen to people talking, and unfortunately, your group just appear in the middle of the of this village. So most of the gossip you hear is about all of you appearing in the middle of the village.
Yeah.
People are wondering what you're doing here. It's a bit strange. You look...
Scare some kids, walk up to a random kid. You have 3 days left, kid. How do you... We were sent by a crazy nature god.
And then suddenly, Remy, you hear someone yelling somewhere, "Mommy!" The
I
monk
want
wants to
one.
kill us all.
Continue walking.
All right. So yeah, you don't hear a whole lot. There's only one comment that sort of sticks out as you're hearing this. Someone saying, "Another group of people visiting. We really don't need that." But that's the only useful information you manage to glean off of everyone talking. Oh, other than the fact that there are a few kids that say that it's weird. Ever since you all arrived, there's a smell of oranges in the air.
Yeah. It's that god I was telling you about.
Should probably get that looked at.
Also, looking at what kind of like produce do they have? Since I could just see carts, like they're selling stuff, right?
Well, it's winter is nearly there, so the picking is getting a bit slim. The fields are nearly mostly all harvested, so it's very desolate when you look outside.
Okay.
There are a lot of dried food being hung everywhere, and of course there are some product that are always available throughout the year: eggs, baskets, because you always need a new basket.
Yeah. How much is the basket?
It's a big basket, so 2 copper.
Okay. I hand over 2 copper.
You just bought a basket. Nice.
Yeah, now I'm holding it, looking like I'm shopping through the market.
Okay. Well, that interesting.
Well,
Hey,
you know
sure
what?
look up
Actually,
those 2 copper, man.
you know what? Raimi would actually give him a thumbs up. Gives a great cover. It's like, why they're just like looking around all over the place.
Yeah,
It's
just
like
like going
it-
around. Yeah, going around, looking at some fruit, picking it up, putting it down.
Or a little bit of bread. Small bags of dried fruit.
Yeah.
Few jerkies.
Like, not only do they have a great cover, but then now they get to have a picnic later.
Yeah, exactly. Win-win.
As they're discussing which peasant survives and which does not survive.
That one's guilty.
I
That
know
one's
you forgot that you're eating when you're saying this, so yeah, I know this one's guilty.
That one's good though. Yeah.
All right. So as Tobiashi is picking dried fruit and cheese, Remy. Well, Remy, you have a much more fruitful, pun not intended, um, investigation as you're looking around. Now, fortunately and unfortunately, unfortunately because it doesn't help you all that much, but fortunately because it doesn't help you all that much, which means they're not excessively guilty. Crime hasn't managed to grip the life of this town as some other town. Well, no, it's still village, but
Well,
you know,
I would say it's getting there, but in 5 days it
it's
definitely won't be.
it's halfway between village and towns, because as you're walking and you're looking at things, Especially when you arrive. I'm gonna put it on the map. That's as small as I can make your token. All right. Especially when you arrive at this portion of the village, where there are several houses, one after the other. You're forced to look at this and see. All right. Well, that looks like someone who tried to cram as many people in a short space that you could. That's the beginning of something that you'd call a town. So they went outside and they got people to come in. You know, it doesn't look like all that criminal, anything like this, but it does feel like they're pretty crammed together. They're all inside of their home, just watching you walk in front of their house. This early? It's not that normal. You know, normally in a town, people are outside. In a village, especially in a village, there's always something to do. The fact that there are houses where there aren't a lot of people, it makes sense because of all of the field. They would have needed more people to harvest everything. But, damn. Now what do they do with those people? But houses and a group of people, it's not something that happens overnight. It's something that you prepare for. Maybe indicating that this is not the first year that this place has been expanding. Whatever happened here, it didn't happen in the last 6 months. It has been preparing itself, and it has been happening for at least a year. So whatever is happening here has already entrenched itself more than what you initially were expecting.
Which is going to have to beg a question that I guess Raimi will have to ask Connie later.
Yeah. The other place where you find something of note is when you get back to town. The center of town, rather, because it's still all just a village. Center of village, I mean. The blacksmith. The tool he is making. A lot of tools to cut down trees.
Not the blacksmith. Sorry.
Well, it does look like that he participated in whatever happened in one way or the other. And it looks like it's not done because you surprise him as he is fashioning more cutting tool. A long, large saw to cut down heavy logs, thick trunks. It's also supposed to be a bit out of his knowledge field.
Oh, we just got a spy on him now.
So might be something there. The granary is filled. It's the building just in front. They definitely, and it's really filled to the brim. But even when you're looking at this, it sort of feels like, there's more food than they'll ever need to get through the winter. But you look at all of the field around you, they would have needed 2 granaries. Where's the rest? Either they already sold it, which means there's someone that's a lot wealthier than it appears inside of this village. Or it's hidden somewhere. And then finally, last place where there's something, oh good lord, that you weren't hoping not to find. But you actually do find it. It's inside of the temple. Because of how high you rolled. Oh yeah, by the way, the rolls. Jorg had rolled a 14 to convince the gods. Guess what was the DC? So, back to the... You really just succeeded it.
Like you put your
Thanks
hands
for letting
together
me-
for a single.
Uh-huh.
So...
Yeah, that guidance really saved my head.
You would only have had 1 day if you had took your 13. So you got yourself 3 days instead of 1.
That is what I asked him for.
You asked for 2.
Well, I started with 1 and then I went to 2 and then
Yeah, okay. Because you rolled higher than 20 when you enter the temple, you find yourself there just at the right moment to catch 2 people arguing. It's a bit of a heated argument, but it's not what they're arguing about. It's who is arguing that catches your attention. And as your mind goes to the, fuck it, you see in front of you a representative of the hunter god arguing with a representative of the dragon god.
well,
Oh, shit.
I was thinking it.
Like it's like we just dealt with them. Well, not dealt with them, but
They're festering everything.
So you have a representative of audience's faith arguing with a hunter god faith inside
Does
of
this
the temple.
technically make me one of the guilty? No.
Uh-huh.
it's like well, you know, it's like you must remove the plant that created the the evil seed.
You've got plausible deniability.
You know, they're arguing because...
Wait, who's hearing this?
Well, Remy, because he's the one that's looking around and trying to investigate things and find clues. But because you rolled higher than 20, he gets in there as they're arguing. But make an insight roll, Remy.
22.
Okay. To you, this argument feels rehearsed. It's not 2 people arguing and throwing at one another the first thing that comes into their mind to win the argument. It feels too smooth to be that. So it feels slightly rehearsed.
Are there any other individuals in the temple at the time? It's like
By the time you get there, I think it's probably going to be somewhere near noon. So yeah, there would be a few people there. Maybe I was gonna say between 8 or 12, so let's go with 10. It's between 8 or 10. 8 or 12. About 10 people inside of this place just trying to pray, but because they're arguing, they're sort of fake praying and just hearing the gossip, because, gossip is worth a lot in a small town, in a small village.
I guess mostly Ramey's trying to figure that if they're having a rehearsed argument, it's like it is either because they want specific individual or individuals to hear it, or they're making it very obvious that they are in a particular location at a particular time.
The argument revolves around the hunter god, trying to push the argument that a village should be allowed to take the means necessary to assure their survival, while audience's faith is arguing that this must be tempered because you cannot do this without considering the good, the greater good.
The greater good.
Oh, okay. Almost as though this argument serves the sole purpose of
Recruiting people,
making the cause of the village look good.
Indirectly, it's sort of an argument that really pushes in front of the people. We are looking to help you through the greater good. We are looking to help you by giving you the means to be the hunter of your survival.
But they will not give them the means of production.
They gotta seize that for themselves.
Exactly.
Everybody's gotta learn that.
So, and like I said, it's because, once again, you rolled above 20. Because under 20, you wouldn't have been able to notice that element of... It's rehearsed. Meaning that they planned this somehow. One knew what the other was going to argue about, and they were expecting this argument. So either they're trying to drive a point, either, like you said, they're trying to make sure that people know that they're here at this moment. Or, they want to make sure that you know that they're here. You've been looking around town for the past few hours, so of course people would have started talking about all of you, and the news would have started to spread that you were here. And of course, a few hours ago, everyone saw audience, Jorg and Fisher enter the mayor's office, which we're going to go to in a few minutes. I just want to know what's your reaction right now.
Just like a Rainy, honestly pulls a bit on on Tobiashi's silk as he's fussing a bit too much over bread prices.
A whole
I'm assuming
silver
that's
for
why
this
he-
bread. It's outrageous.
Oh no, but it's even worse than that. As you arrive and hear Tobiashi arguing about this bread that should be 1 silver, you hear the person in front of it, but it's actually a very good bread. Here, I'll let you try. We have this special grain that really gives that element of, well, you'll see.
It's a drug farm.
But no, the bread actually tastes... Oof. Well, the only word that comes to your mind is magical.
It's
All
blood
right.
bread.
Go ahead. Take my money. Oh, what was that, Remy? What?
It's like Raimi just like whispers into your ear, "I smell a rat." Then he sniffs. Make it 2.
Oh. Are we gonna kill him? Oh wait, let's walk away. Are we gonna?
Mom!
No, I just make the motion. Do it right now. Wait, what kind of rats? Are they dragon rats or are they?
You hear a kid scream, "Mom, there are dragon rats in the world!"
Just show me where they're at. I'll start following Remy.
All right.
Incidentally, like those poor rat nests that are being being threatened by dragon rats.
Yeah, it's a conundrum.
No, and there's going to be, well, it's good that you mentioned this in public, because now there's going to be some kids who are going to go attack rats' nests, and if they survive, they're going to become level 1. So
Oh God, I started more side quests.
All right.
Like and of course the kids who wind up killing the cats instead, well, they gain 1 level in serial killer.
Yeah.
They become rogue, and their alignment is being twisted toward evil. All right. And you got that kid who just had that spark in his eyes. Well, he became a level 1 sorcerer.
Hell yeah.
All right. So, Remy,
Actually, with all the magical bread, I'm surprised they're not all druids by this point. Or like sorcerers, I mean.
well, here's a question, Tobiyashi. You have bread that tastes incredible. It's magical. Do you eat it all, or do you put it inside the basket and share with everyone later?
Oh yeah, no, I put it in the basket. I start telling Remy everything that I got. So we have some of these fruits right here and some cheese. I tried to find some wine, but they don't make much here, I guess. This nice bread is there too.
Well, actually,
Specifically about the price,
you
though.
did find some interesting mead.
Oh, yeah. Got some nice mead too. Couldn't find wine, got mead instead. Had to get something.
The taste is surprising.
Oh God.
Surprising.
The taste is surprising.
All right.
Like you didn't
The
think it was
rats.
possible for it to taste like an orgasm, but
Yeah, I feel energized. I feel ready. I'm alert.
All right. So Remy takes you to see inside of the temple the last few moments of this argument where two people simply decide to storm out because the argument cannot be resolved. And just as you're arriving, you see a representative of the hunter god and a representative of Audience's fate leaving the temple, each going in a different direction.
Getting ready my lightning bolt? I'm kidding. No. I mean, we could split up and follow them. Wouldn't be too hard.
Well, one of them is going directly toward you. The other one is taking that little road and going a little bit up north. But the road bends and going to go east. Yeah, that's east. So, hey, if you want to split up and follow, you can. or you can decide to
Which
follow
one is?
him.
Yeah, which one is the one going off, like into nowhere?
Hunter.
Hunter.
Which makes sense.
Mm-hmm. So,
Well, at the very least, well, if I'm being honest, the cultists would probably smell us a mile away.
Yeah.
But at the very least, the one coming toward us, it's like, I don't believe they would actually interpret us as a threat.
mm-hmm. Oh yeah, because because we're not a threat yet to their thing.
If anything, you're with a commander.
That's what I was rolling
yeah,
for.
that's true.
That's what I was
That is
rolling
true.
for. Does he know who Commander Remy is? He doesn't seem to recognize you, Remy. But he can always flash your emblem.
Like, actually, maybe that would be a way to gain rapport in this town, and maybe get more access. He actually will start openly, like, wearing it. It's like on his clothes, just like maybe he'll get attention he actually wants for once.
Okay. All right. But as you're doing this, because audience Jorg and Fisher now have 3 hours to catch up with you, we're gonna go see them.
Yeah. All I was gonna say is I stand straighter. I look a little bit more nobler than I am, I guess.
Okay.
I know what we're going for.
But like I said, let's go with audience Jorg and Fisher because they have 3 hours to catch up.
Yeah.
So, audience Jorg and Fisher. The mayor takes you to the inn and takes you to this at the back of the inn, completely just next to the kitchen, where his wife is ordering two people working in the kitchen, trying to make most likely some sort of meal for noon. Why is my microphone always... Stop it.
Shut up, microphone.
No, it's sputtering again. That's annoying. I thought I'd solved it. Maybe it's just the connecting wire from my headphone to the microphone that's getting too old. All right. So what you see is probably one of the most normal thing you could see as you're entering this inn. Like I said, his wife is ordering two people inside of the kitchen to probably make the evening meal. They seem to be doing something that's really normal. Maybe something like a hunter stew, if you know what that is. Well, audience would probably know, but I'm not sure Sam would know. Very common thing to serve. The inn doesn't seem overly wealthy, but, sturdy, good enough. Takes you in a small room. Sort of have a moment where he takes you in a small room and looks at everyone that wants to come in. There's you, audience, who looks like a paladin, who looks like a friendly kind of person, paladin. And then he looks at Jorg, who's looking at him like he wants to kill him, and then Fisher, he's not sure how Fisher is looking at him because he doesn't seem to have too many faces.
Reading.
Fisher always looks like he wants to kill someone.
Yeah, Fisher is reading from a book that seems to be something along the lines of a construct's guide to
Emotions.
organic species, and is going to cast Borrowed Knowledge to give himself proficiency in insight for an hour.
Okay. All right.
It's like
Not bad.
when people have their face curve, their mouth curve upward. That is a smile. When it
It's
curves
just a
downward,
picture book of facial expressions.
and this is the constipated face. You don't know what constipation is,
But since
but at least you can recognize
C-section
it.
5 of volume 13.
but since you are looking at people inside of a inn who might have actually ate what was in the kitchen, you can sort of deduce. So it has to do with food and what is being prepared. All right. So, well, he invites you in his private room, which now feels a lot more cramped because you're all there. You know, the largest party members of the group inside of that room. You can tell he feels slightly intimidated by this group, but nonetheless, he
Good.
invites you
You should.
to sit down. And what exactly did you want to talk about? And he looks at you, audience, for a bit more than Jorgen Fisher. He says, is there anything? Did we do anything that displeased you? And he points toward you, but also toward a perception roll. Well, I'd say perception. Yeah.
For everybody, or just audience.
No, he points.
you guys are
toward
in the room.
audience.
Oh,
I got it. Oh, okay.
Oh well, yeah, no, okay, yeah, no, sure. You're all inside the room. Yeah, you can absolutely make a perception.
audience is not gonna recognize. So I hope one of you
Okay.
guys do. So you can tell.
George got a
audience.
26,
Okay.
so
Fisher got a
Audience.
15.
I'm glad. I got a 1.
Jorg is on end right now.
And
Amazing.
Fisher,
Everything.
what did you roll? You said
15.
15. All right. Well,
The mayor points at audience. George is like, he got a gun.
Get down!
I had to. It was self-defense.
yeah.
well, for you, audience, it just feels like he points toward you. But Fisher and Jorg, you rolled enough to see the difference. When he says, "Did we do anything to displease you?" He's pointing at audience's emblem.
Oh.
He has a sickle. Get
Grenade!
Immediately, Fisher's just like, shit.
I'm gonna say yes. You stand before the founder of your church.
What? I was like, what?
Close enough.
And then you realize, because George just said that, and he's just about to take his hand away, and you look at, oh, okay, right.
Oh. Fuck.
He says, well, I didn't know, but also, we are just like any other village. We do not hold an allegiance to only a single god. We pray to many gods which help us throughout the year. But I did not know you were the founder of this religion. That's quite an honor. He becomes a bit nervous because George just said yes when he said, "Did we do something to displease you?" So
Okay. I'm about to play this differently than I thought I was going to, but it's okay. Displease, I'll kind of rest an arm. I'll be like, displease is a strong word. Perhaps you could explain what's happening here. I have some friends. I'll point to Jorg and the Druidic community, and last I understood from hearing about this area, you had an agreement with the Druids and the Groves here that them and the Grove wouldn't be harmed. Perhaps you could update me on the situation that's occurred.
How high are your passive insight?
My passive insight is not. I don't have high passive anything.
Well, if you
Mine
want,
is now 16.
if you want to
14.
actively scan the guy, you can make a roll for insight. But I'd say that would be more Jorg and Fisher because audience is speaking right now.
Looking him up and down.
I'm honestly gonna let them tell me if the guy's lying or not doing. I'm just communicating right now.
Okay.
I assume the other two will cover me if.
Well, I had an idea, but now it's a little late. So
Oh,
Get down, Mr. President.
we didn't really discuss our plan for going into this.
no.
That's okay. You rarely do.
God,
Also, we didn't know he was knew about he was in with the Dragon Church.
We did it. I was also gonna play this very differently.
Actually, wait,
and
no, I wouldn't know to do this. So never mind it.
So Fisher, how about your insight roll if you wanna?
Yeah. I should have gone with the passive.
I take into consideration your passive. If you're
So I rolled a 4, so 10.
all right.
And Jorg, what was your insight?
Passive
12.
and active were 14. So
All right.
I guess I'll roll because I would. I rolled another 1. Getting all those out of the way early.
Yeah, no, sure. All right.
Turns out he just rolls nothing but ones for the whole rest of the chapter.
On this one, either Jorg or you, Fisher, managed to glean anything other than there seemed to be a slight discomfort in the mayor when he answers this, but you just can't figure out what it's about or what subject is. Again, I mean, sure. I would have expected that your preacher would have briefed you on anything of importance.
Maybe he has, maybe he hasn't. Maybe I just want to hear it from your own words. You are the mayor of this town after all, and it is your responsibility. So I just love to hear it from you.
Well, yes, I am the mayor. Mostly becomes the knight who reigns over this place is has several village, so he doesn't spend too much time here. So yes, I'm left here to administer this place throughout the year. Okay. Well, after the negotiation that your preacher did with the Druids of the Grove, we followed your advice and your efforts to smooth thing out, and we harvested what we could around it. Granted, some may have been slightly overzealous because other preachers here in town have been saying that we need to take control of everything here. They said that we need to to not let ourselves be little more than sheep to greater powers. But thanks to your preacher, everything was smoothed out, and we were able to simply harvest the grove, and that is it.
Or how did the druids feel about this? You harvesting the grove?
We didn't talk to to the druids in the grove ourselves. You'd have to ask your preacher exactly what was said. He is the one that took care of the negotiation.
I see. And who are these other priests who were telling you you had to take everything and be more zealous?
I believe he was called Abian. Abian, yes, I think that Abian, preacher of a small cult in the area. You might have seen them. They have an emblem of a wolf.
I see.
They keep telling everyone that you need to not be the prey of everything, of the hardship of the world. You need to be able to take control, be the hunter and not the prey. Well, they may have over energized some of the population, and they were maybe a bit overzealous. They didn't need to cut everything. I mean, but everything was fine. We didn't do anything that wasn't accepted, sanctioned. I'm not sure.
So the priest told you everything that you were cutting down was sanctioned by the grove.
Oh yes, yes, of course.
Okay.
We wouldn't have gone against the will of the druids.
I see. And none of you have had contact with the grove since, I assume, since the.
No. The druids even left the grove. They just went somewhere else. Probably another grove somewhere. Who knows? Maybe they simply just relocated it. I don't know how that works. Jorg, you know that this is extremely difficult to do. They would have had to take the fruit of the grove, and it requires a very intricate and long ceremony to do something like this. It's not something that happens over a few days.
Would you say that there was any members or groups of your village that I know you said there was a group that followed kind of this guy's a little overzealously. Would you also say there was a group or members of your village that rejected this idea or were more against kind of the sayings of my priest or the other druids?
Well, there's never complete unanimity in any decision. That's part of the town. That's part of the life in a village. Some went to the temple and started praying to nature god, just in case something was not done properly, and make sure that the blessing of nature would come back next year. There's a druid that comes here every few years. Was here a few months ago. I haven't seen him since, but that's not unusual for them. They come, they bless the fields.
What's this druid's name?
It was a new druid. I hadn't seen him. It was a woman.
They call themselves Georgina?
Something a bit exotic for a name. Sounds a bit like Anna. Alina. So, yeah, something like this.
Alina. I see. Okay. Alina, and then could you do me a favor? I'm gonna go out, but could you put together? I'm going to hand him a piece of paper. Could you put together a list for me of names of kind of those who you would say were more against the teachings of, or were more against kind of the thing of harvesting the grove, and names of those who are more avidly following it and went around, since you know your people so well? That would be most helpful. Thank you. I'm going to pass him a piece of paper.
What are you planning to do with this? I don't understand. I thought, why do you need this?
Well, as a paladin, it's my job to prevent any future trouble, and I just want to make sure everyone's on the same page and in harmony with each other. So I would love to have a list of names, just so I understand kind of people's positions, to know who I need to talk to and one way or another, to get everyone on your village on the same page.
Okay, I understand this, but why would everyone needs to be on the same page? Is there something that I'm not being told?
Nothing that you need worry about right now. If I could get a list of names, it would be most helpful.
Can you?
I will roll deception for that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Oh, look, there's a nat 20. 22.
There
Only
it
that
is.
was the nat 20s tonight, I guess. Nothing in between.
Okay. Well, you are using words that would worry him a whole lot, but apparently your charisma simply shines at this moment, and it looks like you're glowing. Even Jorg is forced to admit that, damn, you seem to have been touched by a god. Well, we all know who that god is, so but hey, you seem to have been inspired. Again. Man, audience must start feeling very frustrated, you know? He's really good at convincing people to sign their own death, but not very much at convincing women to trust him.
I'm not asking him to sign his own death. I'm just asking him to sign the death of a lot of people of his village, but also potentially save some.
Those under his care.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just getting a list of names for no bad reason or good reason. Don't worry about it.
All right, well, he writes down the list and he gives it to you. It helps, and also it doesn't help, because he writes down the household name and not the individual in each of them. So you sort of have...
Can I ask for the individuals?
Well, you can always ask. Yes, of course.
I appreciate. I will ask for the individuals.
Well, it really is because you rolled so high that you would accept, but it does come with a warning, you know. He says he doesn't know the name of all the children's in each of the households, so it's not very a problem for very young children, but those who are...
I don't need the names of the children.
But those who are at the end of adolescence, nearly adult, that makes for a very blurry line, because some of them being 14, 15, 16, 16 being the age of adulthood during the Middle Ages. Yeah. So, but those...
In audience eyes, this is already a deeply complicated and convoluted position, and in his eyes, all children are automatically innocent. So he doesn't need the name of the children.
But yeah, the adult, he puts the name of them just as a precision on it. So this is the man of the house, this is the lady of the house, woman of the house, because lady of the house would imply royalty, at least nobility. So this is the man of the house, this is the woman of the house. These are... And he puts how many children there are, but only a few names. But like I said, it creates a blurry line for teenagers because some of them may be old enough to be adult, but they're not married or anything, so they are still living with their parents. Some of them may be guilty, some of them may not.
Oh no. Okay. All right, thank you. I appreciate it. And where do you think I could find where is my priest residing? I actually don't know.
Right,
at the current moment.
right here at the inn. I think he left maybe half an hour ago. But he always comes back toward noon, toward the temple.
I see.
Always.
And is it just him, or does he have a group with him?
No, there's just him. Well, 2 or 3 months ago there were 2 others, but right now there's only one.
There's only one. I see. And of the small cult you said, just how many of them have been kind of frequenting the village recently?
One at a time, but they often change. They never stay more than a month at a time, and then they leave and then they come back. But it's a different person that comes back.
Thank you. It's been most helpful. I hope you have a good. Well, actually, I'll look over at Jorg or Fisher. Do you two have any more questions you'd like to ask before we leave?
How long has this town been around? And how long have you been here?
This town? Well, me? I've been mayor of this town for nearly 20 years, and this town has been here for maybe 50 years. I mean, we started a bit small, and we didn't grow a lot because the grove was a bit limiting our ability to expand. But now it's going to grow much faster. We have access to so much more, especially all the grains. The grain that was harvested from around the grove. It's amazing. It gives product that sells so well. As a matter of fact, you should really stop by the market. They have these little basket of dried fruit. And in each one of them, we put one fruit that was collected from the grove. You'll see, the taste is amazing. Then suddenly he feels really uncomfortable because he sees the dagger is in Jorg's eye.
Yeah, Honey's instinctually puts his hand on Jorg's shoulder.
It's like cuts back to the market, or maybe like a little picnic blanket. I was just like. Raimi and Tobiyashi enjoying like a bowl of Greek yogurt sprinkled with dried fruit.
That is a really good.
You say it's selling really well, or it sells really well. Is there a head merchant in charge?
Well, trade guilds always visit the village every few weeks to make sure that pricing is kept fair and all of this. Right now, they're not in the village, but we're expecting them in a week at most.
All right.
Jorg, any questions?
How
Why?
fucking dare? No.
Yeah.
Jorg, any civil questions? I should rephrase.
Any no, nothing Nothing to ask this man.
This man.
Nothing to ask him.
All right.
Yes, man.
Well, thank you for your time, Mary. I'm sure we'll be seeing you around the next couple days. We'll only be here probably for 3 days at most.
All right. And of course, because of all the help he looks at you, audience, and his eyes just darts to your emblem. Because of everything you helped us with, you can stay in the inn for free, and your friends maybe just pay for one person, but for your entire party. So I don't know how many you are, but
Well, we appreciate that hospitality. Thank you.
yes, of course. For everything
All
you
right.
did, it's the least we can do.
Of course. We'll be seeing ourselves out now.
All right. Have a good day. I'm always at your disposal.
Interesting word, disposal.
Yeah. George's like, yes.
I'd like to
Like
imagine he
putting
just
glove
stands
in
in
a
the
jar
doorway
or
for a
something.
second, looks over his shoulder, then walks out the door. He was thinking about it.
All right. So, what do you do next? That conversation maybe took half an hour, time to go there and go outside. You maybe have another 2 hours to kill, until you caught back with Remy and Tobiashi in time.
Well, that seems like they really didn't ask too many questions about the druids. Just up and leaving.
Just Mhm.
Fisher, Terranat completed your sentence, but of course you're the only one who understand it. When you said that, Terranat completed by saying, was disastrous.
Yeah. Well,
And now it seems though that unfortunately this village's main sin may have just been negligence.
Well, maybe I was thinking if we pose you as the arch priest of your dragon church and me as a representative of the hunter god, maybe we can bring the guilty to our druid friend.
Maybe. But should we even do so? Are they really guilty for simply listening to the words told to them? Do they deserve death for that?
Jorg, being a druid, you can. This is where it's most painful for you because, yes, they were misled,
I know.
but also from what the mayor just told you, they all ate the fruits of that sin.
Well,
They listened to the words told to them, and they did not question. And it is on them to use their judgment.
Yes.
The
No,
tools of gods must be destroyed if the gods are committing such evil.
I agree they were certainly negligent in their, as it was their treaty and they should have verified whether their treaty was being upheld. They were simply told and followed the orders, but
guilty.
is that crime truly deserving of death?
Morally, maybe not. But in order to rebalance this land, maybe.
Well, perhaps I don't understand. Maybe you know more of rebalancing this land. But is there any way?
Jorg, from what they just said, people are selling sacred fruits
Mm-hmm.
in the marketplace. Fruits that they have dried and mixed with other fruits, which should have been used to increase the power of the grove, to increase the power of the land, make it more potent, more fertile. It's
I think.
sacred fruits.
Mm-hmm. They partake of our sacred fruits. No, I think. Oh, death
Any
is harsh.
water that they would have taken from the grove would have been blessed water from the druid's point of view.
Mm-hmm.
The trees might
They
have been magical, some of them might have been sentient.
To me, this seems, though, that they were pawns just manipulated by greater forces. And, well, again, perhaps the leaders are at fault for negligence. Many of the people are just villagers who thought that they were being, doing what was right for the village, as being told that they were not breaking any treaty that they thought they had.
Yes.
However, I do not.
I know I'm not making it easy for you, Jorg. I know.
I know. I think that displacement is punishment enough for those who followed the leaders. But the members of the cults will die.
What about
Don't.
those who harvested? Those who
They
cut
will
the
have to die
trees?
Those who cut the trees.
Those who harvested the fruits
Get the
the
kids
land
outta here.
had?
Mhm.
Those who took the water? Those are all things that a druid would think about.
Mm-hmm. But they didn't know.
That's entirely up to you. I'm not saying you should or
Mhm.
shouldn't. I'm saying you have to decide, because if you make a mistake, innocents are going to die.
Mm-hmm. Ugh.
This is not a question, though, of appeasing our sense of morality, our sense of judgment. And I understand that as well. We are here to appease the nature god in his sense, and I do not think he will see. I don't think he will see those as simply negligence, as enough of a not a crime to not murder them. So what could we offer in its place? How could we appease the one inhabiting Sarn right now? Is there any way we could still save this village?
I mean, the village is the village specifically is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any way
Whether
to
or not
save the
whoever,
people?
yeah, they were talking about the people.
Yeah,
Everything here is going to be gone.
that is
Mm-hmm.
understandable. But it seems as though, is there any way to save the people of the village, to make them amends, to make them do right, to appease
Well, I
Sarn in
think-
some way?
I think in my opinion, when we're the difference between innocence and guilt with regards to ignorance is there's a difference between true ignorance and willful ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we might find that distinction in presenting the truth of what happened to the druids to the populace.
Mm.
And if they are like, damn, oh well, then, that's not
They
great.
fertilize this land. They
And
so
if they're like, oh shit, we didn't mean that, then, maybe
Audience, being lawful
they're
good,
innocent.
that is a concept that is heart-wrenching to you, but also something that you would have to face one day. Being ignorant is not an excuse for committing crimes.
No. But audience is also struggling with
I
the
know.
fact that now he feels responsible for basically all the deaths that are about to happen because he pretty much. He's also struggling with the fact that this basically confirms for him that his church is basically up to no. I mean, he already suspected it, but this basically confirmed it for him.
Also, I want to know where the money's going. Because, this is... he was saying they're making bank off of this,
just murder.
Fruit and magical plants. So that's funding either your church or the cult or both.
Most likely both. I can go speak to my priest, although he may have been warned about me. We'll see if he'll give up any information.
I think you should.
I mean, he'll learn about me sooner or later that I'm here.
Are the clergy of your religion wary of you?
No.
All right, then I think you should just be.
I don't know. I don't know anymore who's been told what and who's not been told what. I don't know if honestly the priest was just following orders, even if he knew there were, or if he's.
My thought is, if obviously this is whether or not following orders. This is kind of a pretty sinister.
No, I'm not saying he's innocent at all. I wasn't unvilifying.
I'm wondering if he would lie to you about what's going on here.
Oh, he might, but not if I cast a zone of truth on him.
I guess so, yeah.
Fisher, Terranad would tell you also, as much as your friends would like to save people, greed is very infectious. If they're selling goods made out of enchanted plants, the moment some of them saw that they could make more money, morality might have just went out the door. Greed can infect people. Those people will have the blood of the grove on their hand.
And those people will probably be the ones most resistant to giving it up then.
Yeah, look for people who try to justify themselves. Usually those people are guilty.
I mean, I have a list. I'm happy to go around, as obviously it seems like a member of the church they respect and perhaps would be. I'm happy to go around to all the members who seemed more willing to follow the church's orders and speak with them. Perhaps that would give me a better sense of who is actually being misled and who is excited by this new turn of fortune.
Did we get the sense of the general population of this village?
You know, but Remy and Tobiyashi, yeah.
All right.
You went directly inside. Remy and Tobiyashi
Yeah.
are spending the next 3 hours going around and talking to people, so they have that part of the puzzle.
We should also find out about this new druid that's...
Well, I believe she's dead. We have to find out about her murder and where she... Because Sarn said he smelled the blood of a druid. And dead. So we have to figure out if multiple druids were killed, if she was just killed, and if so, where her body is hidden. And who perhaps killed her. Whether it was the village or if it was one of my priests or one of the Hunter cult's priests that killed her.
It sounds like it was the Hunter cult that did the agreement, right?
The audience's church made the negotiation with the
okay.
druid, and the hunter cult enticed the population to aggressively remove the grove.
Okay.
And the Hunter cult also might have been the ones who did more of the dirty work of actually killing the druids. But
Terranad says that might be audience wishful thinking.
yeah, but he also might not have. That's something we have to
Yeah.
figure.
You're the guy who made the agreement for them to leave, so or at least reported it back.
Yeah.
We got to talk to your guy.
We do have to talk to my... Well, I think I should talk to my guy. I don't think we should all talk to my guy. I think that's
True.
And then it cuts to us all three having a picnic. No,
I might bring Remy so he can see more, since he also has the emblem. But I'll talk to my guy. I will also try and talk to, I think, the people who are more willing to accept, see what's kind of going on with them. Perhaps Jorg, Toby could speak to the other people on this list, the ones who are more against it, since maybe they'll be more sympathetic since they're druids, and perhaps they can get a better sense of that part of the population.
I was thinking Jorg and I might go try and take a closer look at the fields and see kind of what actual magic is going on right now.
That's fair. Well, we definitely could. I mean, we have 3 days. We can do multiple.
Yeah, audience can go talk to his people, to his priest, and Jorg and Fisher can go outside. You have 2 hours until you catch up with Remy and Tobiyashi.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. So, yeah, we can do that and then continue down that line. And also, I'll probably have Remy at some point over one of these next 3 days, see if he can find out any investigation of perhaps maybe if where the murders might have happened, if there were murders, since he feels like the best one to maybe figure that out. Where they might be being kept. I also would love to know the population of, or how near there might be a hunter cult.
I feel like you're not going to find any bodies in the basement. You're going to find them out in the woods, buried under some tree or something. Like, I don't think we're finding bodies here. This isn't a recent slaughter.
Remy trips over. It's like just like, what's this huge stack of bodies doing here?
I mean, Sarn did say he still smelled blood, so it might have been more recent than we think.
What's this industrialist manifesto that was left on the body of this druid?
I can turn into a bloodhound to try and find.
Again, we're talking about more than 6 months ago.
Well, are we?
Maybe.
At least for the...
I thought Amalia was here like 2 weeks ago. Or...
She was here some months ago, I think he said.
She said some months.
Yeah.
I thought it was a couple. Okay, maybe I thought it was a couple weeks.
Well, he was unintentionally vague. The kind of vague that you are during a conversation. Oh, someone came here a few months ago. A few months ago can easily mean 4 months, but it also can mean 2 months. It's not you don't get the feeling that it was intentionally I can't say the word. I don't want it doesn't want to come out. Vague. All right.
Anyway, I'll go see what. I'll go talk with my priest. I'll go try and find Remy, and then go talk with or at least I'll see if I can find my priest. See what information I can get. I'll start there if you guys want to look out at the land.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good.
I will.
Let's go check out some magic.
Oh, Remy's not here. I can't have him take a picture of the list. Well, I guess I'll hang on to the list for now.
Remy is looking around things right now.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to go find my priest.
All right.
You guys go look at the land.
All right. So obviously, Jorg and Fisher, there are so many fields. It's going to take a while for you to do this. So here you go. You got your way to catch up with Remy and Tobiashi. Well, okay. So it depends on what you're looking for. If you're just looking for things in the fields, it's investigation. But if you want to look for magical element, things that would relate to magic, to nature, to how things interact with one another, you can roll Jorg religion, because for priest, that's the equivalent of Arcana. And Fisher, you could roll Arcana, but to tell you
it's not arcane magic, so
it's not arcane magic. So even if you succeed, even if you make a good roll, it's not going to give you a lot of information.
I think, Jorg, let me know what you think about this. I think it might be a good idea to try and find where, like, the heart of the grove was.
I like that idea.
And see what, like, the magic is. Because it seems to me like they might be getting nice magic crops now, but it sounds like over time it's going to get real bad. So I kind of want to see what kind of state the magic is in, and if it's being corrupted, where on that timeline it is.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll use my knowledge religion to try and.
Well, finding the grove, you could also use nature.
Okay, it's the same bonus on both.
I will also use detect magic to help. If that helps, or if that does detect magic just make like the whole like field, like the whole ground just like light up?
No, because it wouldn't, because the grove made the land more fertile by increasing the natural energies in it, but it's not enchantment or anything like this.
Okay.
Granted, you might see a residue from the last time a druid blessed the fields, because that lasts throughout the year. But that's going to be faint. You're going to be able to make the difference between a field being blessed and, I don't know, a magical artifact being buried in the ground.
All right.
What you would be able to see are magical elements of the grove. For example, if someone inadvertently took a fruit from the grove and dropped it somewhere on in one of the fields, you might be able to see the fruit itself. If it already decomposed and it's just the seeds, that might be a bit difficult to differentiate from the normal blessing of the fields.
Okay. Yeah, I think I want to try and find where like the heart of the grove was.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I got a 21 in my religion check.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
I would use another spell slot to cast Borrowed Knowledge again and replace Insight with Nature,
Okay.
and then make that.
You just
Oh.
grab Jorg's head and you cast your spell. Ooh,
Yeah.
wow.
I gotta borrow some knowledge real quick.
Mm-hmm. I could use
Hold on,
Jorg,
I
you
can go
lose
into your mind
proficiency.
palace.
guidance for you. Yeah.
Why did I forget a year of my life?
That is 22.
Okay.
Ooh.
So, Jorg, religion 20 what?
21.
21. Fisher, nature 22. And did you cast detect magic?
Yes.
Okay. Phew. All right. Well, with those rolls, it's not difficult to see where you should go approximately, because the land is obviously, at least for you right now, Jorg, because you're a druid, Fisher, because you borrowed Jorg's knowledge. um, it's not hard to follow the trails of more resilient plants everywhere. It maybe takes you an hour and a half, as you're walking to the fields and looking around. And also, Fisher, you can see there's an odd pattern in this. There are some fields that you do see that residual energy, but most of those fields are on the northern side of the village. The southern fields, they're only partially blessed, as if large portion of the field were added after they had been blessed.
Hmm.
You see all of these traces in the ground, these plants that are more resilient, that are a bit more furnished. Even though it's the end of the year and most of these plants should all be dead by now, some still lingers. Some still fight to give just a little bit more at the end. And that's actually a very good indication of, all right, these one received something more. For you, Jorg, it's probably even more heart-wrenching because you know what this means. You're right now essentially walking on the wound of the earth. It really feels like you're surrounded by something that was skinned raw. It's the best way you can describe it. It's an open wound. It's like moving your hand across someone who scraped half of his limb in a fall. But it's the land that's like this everywhere as you're walking. Not even healed from that wound yet. It's a bit normal for you because nature doesn't heal from a wound overnight. it takes months, years, sometime for the land to recover. As you're moving, there's a point where your stomach just turns upside down, and there's nearly an immediate disgust that squeeze your stomach and makes you feel like you want to throw up. Because in front of you, that's probably where the grove was. And it's to the ground. There is this huge stump that's still there. It's easily 12 feet in diameter, cut nearly to the ground. There's depression in the ground, which you'd think might have been a place where there was water. So many small plants have just been torn off the ground. You can still see the ground where the plant tried to hold on and took the dirt with it. It just goes up and falls a bit to the side. It's a wave of nausea that comes over you the more you look at it. Fisher, obviously, you don't have as strong as a reaction as Jorg would have, but you know what it means to him. And it's essentially the same thing as escorting someone back to their home where their family has been slaughtered, and you're just asking, is that your father? Is that your brother? That's it. You can easily imagine that that's how it feels to him as you're watching this. And was there a plant over there? Ugh. The grove was big. The heart of the grove was big. To you, Jorg, that means that the grove was probably several hundred years old. Fisher, with detect magic, you can see that there's already a small variation of magic between the heart and the further you go. I mean, the strength in the land is incredible. It radiates. But you'd estimate that within the next 7 or 8 months, the first effect of this are gonna start being felt. So when the time comes to plant again, it's probably not gonna be a year as good as this one.
Can I tell if anything has been cast, like, on it post destruction? Like, has, like, the Hunter Cult or, like, Dragon Priest come in and, like, cast anything here to more recently?
It's too difficult to make out all of the different types of magic that are there. Obviously,
Okay.
Natural magic is the strongest, but you see small impulses of magic everywhere. Um, but unfortunately, you know that many magical creature can actually cast spells. And Jorg would be able to tell you dryads are inherently good with charming spells. Extremely difficult to resist. So that's difficult, saying who cast what. And speaking of dryads, Jorg,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
you find this large stump, good 7 feet wide, of an oak in the middle of a grove. That is one of the most horrible ways a dryad can be killed.
By destroying their
They're gonna feel
tree.
it as it's been torn apart. She's gonna feel it inside of her. She's gonna feel like she's being torn apart. And then slowly, days after day, as they move, she's gonna slowly die. And there's nothing she can do about it if her tree was destroyed. Fisher, you were saying?
That's what I was saying.
Okay.
I was like, there were probably dryads here, right? What happened?
Jorg would be able to answer you probably after he stopped staring at the stump for 5 minutes straight.
My answer will be everyone who wielded an axe will die.
Which is in character.
Respectful.
Ha ha.
You what?
Fisher's like, yeah, okay. Because that's something, I think Fisher's been thinking along the lines of like, ignorance, of the law doesn't absolve you of crimes, but at the same time, like, obscure stuff you aren't, ignorance of another culture's law is a lot harder to
Here's
get,
the thing.
but he feels like these people should have known better.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Would one of you make an investigation roll for me, please?
I would love to investigation roll.
I'll give you guidance.
Hell yeah. Guidance is D4.
Doesn't sound like you need it, but take it.
26.
26. That's pretty good. Watching all of this, one thing becomes clear. There are several influences here. By that I mean at least one druid, possibly more, had to be taken out. If there was a negotiation, that means that part may be audience's religion. This place was brutally and savagely defiled before being taken apart. That would be more inclined with the philosophy of the hunter cult. And finally, the place was taken apart. That would feel more what peasants would do after everything's been done.
Okay. So it seems like maybe.
Everyone took part in this.
Uh-huh.
And
But
everyone...
like timeline wise, it seems like it was most likely Dragon Cult came in and maybe took out the druids. Hunter Cult came in and like ripped up the grove, and then the peasants came in and did the lawn work.
Yeah. Which kind of
Right.
make it worse, because that means that people did this knowing that they had been warned and warned and warned not to do it, but they did it anyway because someone said, "Oh, it's okay now."
Yeah, because they lived next to this grove for
Several decades.
their entire. Uh-huh.
Some since they were born.
All right.
Of course, the worst seems to have been made by audience's religion and the Hunter cult, but you know.
Well, it's not looking good for these folks.
No,
Just the kids.
no, it is not. We will spare the kids.
Your task
They can be
seems
spared.
to be getting
Redemption is possible.
grimmer and grimmer every hour that passed. That pass.
All right. You want to go catch up with everybody else?
Well,
Mm-hmm.
while you do this, I'll go with audience. Audience. Apparently, you have a discussion with your priest, who is currently in the inn. You know, he's preparing to go give a little sermon to inside of the temple. He's gonna go there roughly in an hour and a half. So he's eating right now.
Okay. I would probably ask around to know where he was.
He's in the inn. You probably saw him as Jorg and Fisher were leaving.
I'd head back to the inn.
Tall fellow. He's human. At least he looks human enough. Very tall. Bit muscular.
What are my adventuring sense telling me in terms of his his own just general strength? It's like a member of. If I looked at him in general, what would be my feeling of how strong he is?
I'd say.
How many cleric levels you got?
I'd say. I'd allow you to roll insight, but I'll allow you to have proficiency because you've asked me a very specific thing. Your adventuring sense, which means your level. So I'll give you the bonus that your level gives you, which is your proficiency. So this is why I'm allowing you to roll insight with proficiency.
All right, that'll be a 19.
19, that's pretty good. You look at him for a brief moment. He looks kind of relaxed, meaning he's either very charismatic or he knows that most of the village is in his pocket. The way that he's dressed makes you think that he is not a neophyte in your order. He probably is in charge of several priests, which makes sense with which actually would better place him with the information that the mayor gave you. the two others that were there a little while ago probably were his apprentices. Which means that he is somewhere between level 6 and level 11. Okay. Most likely closer than 6 than 11, because if he was 11, you'd probably have heard of him because it would be nearly your strength.
Yeah. And we don't have too many of those in our religion.
So you'd say most likely between 6 and 8 as a level.
I see. Okay. Do I get the sense of how he is, like what class he might be? Like, is he a priest? Does he look like more of a priestly or more of a fighter type? Because those are kind of the two main types within my religion. Like paladin.
No, fighter. Definitely priests. Definitely priests.
Definitely priests. Okay.
Because of his demeanor. And because the mayor said that he was preaching. So usually priests would preach.
Yeah. I mean, a paladin could too. But...
Yeah.
Not too. But yeah. Okay.
Oh.
Sounds good.
I got a wound on my nose.
All right. I will walk over to him.
Takes a brief moment, and he sort of have.
I'm actually gonna hide my emblem. I want to know if he knows who I am.
Okay. Well, his reaction comes into stage. When you arrive, you recognize the practiced response of a priest. Without looking at you, he just says, "Yes, my child, what do you want?" And he turns around, and there's a brief moment when he turns around where he goes,
"Who put the statue here?"
Brief moment of utter panic. It's a no.
Well, there is confusion in his eyes that you clearly can see, because he has that moment where he's like, audience?
So you do know who I am?
Well, rumors were that you were dead.
Rumors can be misleading. You and I need to have a chat. Do you have a room at this inn?
Yes, of course.
Okay, come with me. There's no asking. Your order.
Oh, okay. He gets up, sort of dusts himself as best as he can. He goes, okay. Right. He follows you, and then he leads you to his room. There's another person sleeping here, but he's probably out right now, so I think we have a few moments alone.
I see. Who is it?
An adventurer. Someone who wanted to visit the botanist. He lives at the end of one of the road. So he's probably there right now.
Botanist. Hey. Is he interested in potions?
Yes. Of course.
I see. Any potions in particular?
He didn't talk a whole lot. I just saw the everything he had in his backpack when he reorganized it before leaving this morning.
I see. Was he interested in any of the magical plants you've recently harvested from the grove?
That's a bit difficult to say. I think he was a bit curious. I think that's the reason why he was here. something about him feeling a bit left out because his friend didn't tell him about the new properties found on plants in the
That's-
area.
How sad. I hate when friends don't tell you things.
Oh, it happens sometime. Maybe it wasn't
Yeah.
intentional. Maybe it he just didn't have time to tell him. I mean, it's fairly recent. All of this has been happening. Maybe the letter is on his way to him. Who knows? Maybe he lives on another island chain. In that case, it could have taken an entire
Oh,
year.
possibilities. All right, are we at the room yet?
Yeah, no, you're in the room right now.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna shut the door. All right, why don't you have a seat? This is gonna be a slightly longer conversation.
Right? Oh,
Daddy slowly
Okay.
takes out the paddle.
All right. First of all, I would love for you to tell me what your orders were with the village and whether you were the one who did the negotiations with the druids of this place.
I was asked to come here because there were some interesting magical properties of some plants. Once I got here, I learned that there was a druidic grove nearby. I waited for a response from our church, our church in Otanel, and my close disciple came back here with a response to find a way to integrate those magical elements into our own reserve. Magical plants are, after all, very useful for a variety of potions.
Of course.
One of which is potion of blessings, potions of healings.
I understand. And you didn't think to ask the druids if you could borrow these plants? Or was that your first response?
I didn't need to spend too much time talking to anyone. There was this lovely woman that came by, and the moment I tried to start talking about these plants, she very rudely ended the conversation and asked me to leave this place.
I see. And I assume following your orders you didn't.
No, of course not. When you're given an order, you follow it until the end, and I was told to find a way to harvest these plants.
Seems like a very tough situation for you. So what did you do next?
I did my best. I went back to try and convince the druids. Of course, they were less than cooperative.
I hate uncooperative druids. Continue, sorry.
So narrow-minded, so narrow-minded.
Definitely.
Everything they were hoarding could have been easily used to help everyone around. And how can you imagine the strength of healing potions that we could have done just using a fraction of the water that they just had been hoarding inside of that grove?
Yeah. How greedy of them. So what was your solution to this problem, since they weren't willing to give it to you?
Well, after some very tough and demanding negotiations, I promised them something in exchange. I told them that they would receive a gift, something that would help their grove grow a little bit more. And I asked my my neophytes to go back to Otanel, take the reserve that Milady placed, well, more made a reserve of, for such exactly events like this. So they went back, they filled chests with these, and they came back and they went to the grove and shared those wealth of power and of knowledge that we could easily afford to give them. And
so the druids then gave you the gifts after you gave them such a gracious offer, I'm sure.
Well, actually, it was more my my apprentices that came back and told me that they had graciously accepted the offers of our church and gave us access to the grove.
Okay. And how did this lead? But I ask, not that I really care. I mean, but how did this lead to the grove being, in the state that it is now?
Oh, well, that's the fault of overzealous peasants. You tell them that they can take one thing and they start taking more. And of course, there was that priest from the other faith who couldn't help but to just add to this. The moment he saw that he could get something out of this, he just riled up the villagers and told them to take what they could before the druid changed their mind, before they came back. And of course, the peasant did what peasant do. And they took more than they should have.
I see. And do you know what happened to the druids, or did they fight back, or did they peacefully just leave?
I'm not sure, but seeing as there weren't any casualties among the peasants, I would imagine that they simply left. Because I can't imagine a group of peasants being able to rival the powers of an entire grove. So they must have abandoned it.
Must have.
Or maybe, it's that other cult. Maybe they'd had something to do with this. I wouldn't put it past them to have sent some of their barbarians inside to scare off the druids. Hence, the effort they put into making sure that the grove was taken as quickly as possible.
Yeah. And what are you still? Seems like you were able to very successfully accomplish your task. I commend you for that. What are you still doing in the village, since it seems that you were able to make the deal?
Well, since the most of the treasures of the druids are now among the peasants, and they are cultivating it, trying to make more, I'm here to make sure that they uphold their end of this bargain. Once the cultivation is done, that they start giving us our share.
The water.
Of this.
Okay, I see. So all the plants and water are still kind of being cultivated.
Oh
here.
yes, of course. We wouldn't just simply steal it from them. They need to eat. They need to be fed. I mean, the water can be used to heal simple injuries, although if properly blessed, it can do so much more. But of course, they'll use it in this way. I mean, they poured barrelfuls of that water inside of their pond. I'm sure they were trying to bless the fish inside of there in some way.
I see. And do you still have just to ask, do you still have the orders from Othanel with you? The original papers with the orders? Or have those been lost?
They were given to me in person, of course.
Okay. Can I just see them real quick? I just want to verify what a great job you did so I can commend you next time.
I mean, they weren't given to me as a letter given to me.
They were given to you.
Our Lady simply told them to me. You know,
simply told
when he says Our Lady, you know he means
he means the High Priest.
Yeah.
Yes, I know who he's talking about. Yes, I know who he's talking about. Okay. All right. Well, again, excellent job. It seems like you've accomplished your quest. I'll be here for a few days, but I look forward to talking more with you. Please let me know when your friend returns. I'd love to meet him as a fellow adventurer.
Oh, of course, and maybe if I may ask, would you give the sermon tonight? Preach to the poor peasant here who have been through so many harsh things recently.
I'm busy tonight. However, I'd be happy to do it on the morrow.
You sound so much like someone who's just been asked on a date and said, "I'm busy tonight. Rain check."
Yeah, no. I'm unfortunately busy tonight. I have made plans with the rest of my party, but of course I'd be happy to do so tomorrow.
Yes, of course. Tomorrow, I'll make sure that there's a place for you in the temple tomorrow. People here like to get up pretty early, so maybe if you could be there at around 7:30.
Okay. I'd be happy to do so.
Thank you.
All right.
It's a pleasure to see you. I mean, I really thought you were dead. So many people thought you were dead. That's an incredible miracle.
Of course. Well, I'm glad to be of service. I will see myself out. Thank you for your time. All right. I will leave.
So
Jorg's got to go to bed.
Yeah. Don't worry. I was just gonna ask you, audience, what do you do after? Do you try to rejoin your friends who have just all scattered throughout the village?
I would try and rejoin and kind of.
All right, so
I'd also contact Connie and tell her what we learned, since she said to keep her updated.
Okay. So it's easy enough to get you all back together. As you all come back, and it just so happens that's so nice that Tobiashi and Remy are standing there outside of the temple as the priest comes back, because he went out and then he started coming back. Audience, you went into the field, you started looking for Jorg and Fisher, and you realized after half an hour that you were doing this for nothing, because all you needed to do was contact them on the orb, and that's when you learned that they went to the grove, and now they're coming back, and so everyone meets in front of the in front of the temple as your priest leaves this. From one eye, Remy, you can see that Jorg and Fisher are coming back from the southern region. Audience is coming back from just a little bit north. You see this guy leaving from the on the path leading away, and you see Tobiashi right next to you saying, "Hey, let's get the guy. We're gonna shank him." And
And we could just leave his body behind the temple. It'll be fine.
All right, so we end tonight's episode as everyone is probably reuniting. Here, let's put everyone as they're supposed to be on this field. Jorg and Fisher are coming back here. Audience is coming back because he was looking for everyone, so he's here. And the guy is leaving here. So, as we're leaving, this is what the map looks like as everyone is coming back together. And this is where we leave tonight's episode. Everyone can see each other from where they are. They're just not right next to one another. So, where's the music? Here it is. A lot of information. Not all quenchers. Oh, good lord. Not all questions were answered. So sorry about that. Starting to not just mix a few syllables. I'm starting to mix words. No, it's the other way around. See, I'm doing it again. All right. So, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, end of the episode. I think I'm tired. All right. So, a lot of information was learned. Everyone has pieces of the puzzle. Of course, not everything has been learned. Everyone has questions, things that they would very much like to know for sure. But you still have 2.5 days to figure this out, and then figure out a way to separate everyone in the village so they don't all die. All right.
Yeah, give us all your kids, and you're all gonna die, but we'll get them out. It's all good.
Yeah.
But you're dead. Sorry.
Yeah, that's the least we could do for you.
We got a very nice druid. You know, she's very motherly. She's gonna take care of all your children's. And the rest of you, well, who cares? You were stupid, so bye.
Yep. Shouldn't have fucked up.
Maybe
Now it's
each
time to
kid
find
gets
out.
to keep one parent.
He gets to keep one parent. Hey,
Like,
by the way,
alright,
I
pick
just need
your
all the
favorite
kids
parent.
to point to their favorite parent real quick. No reason.
No, kid, you can't take your
Collectively,
mother. She was there. She helped pillage.
Yeah.
You got to take your father.
Your
Sorry.
other favorite parent.
Wrong choice.
Wrong
Sorry,
choice.
now you gotta stay.
Oh damn! I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
Wrong
nothing.
choice. Wrong choice. Now you get no one. Deals off.
It's like, wait a minute, hold on. Leans closer. You look like you would be a great rogue.
You're coming with this.
Oh man, I feel bad.
Maybe I need you to scout out some potential rogues real quick. I feel like
Yeah.
I feel bad. We've
Like,
just
it'll
been
make this
raided.
whole...
I feel bad. We've just been raided.
Oh,
unfortunate.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
No.
Sorry. Thank you for
Do you
raiding.
all have a favorite parent?
Yeah.
Are you gonna survive?
All right. Well, as you can deduce, those who just raided, a lot of hard decisions for our players in the next few episodes. But unfortunately, you arrived just as I was saying. Let's start this over again. Just as I was about to say, thank you for watching tonight. So, thank you for the raid, but also, we all got to go to bed. Well, most of us. Some of us don't need to, but most of us do. So, thank you for being here. Thank you for raiding at the very last moment. I really do feel bad. I'm so sorry.
It happens.
Yeah. Maybe I'll return the favor and try to raid you Friday. We'll see. Alright, so what was I saying? Yes, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Hope you had a pleasant, whatever part of the day it is, wherever you are in the world. And remember, if you want to support us, there are multiple ways that you can do so. Leaving likes, comments, following us. There's Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. If you want to do even more, you can make donations, become Patreon, subscribing on Twitch. Yes, I do have a Patreon. Yes, I know. no one's been subscribed on it for a long while. But I still have it, just in case. But if you can't do any of those, and you still want to support the stream, well, there's a very free thing you can do that helps tremendously, and that's spreading the word of the channel. Or rating us, that works also. I'm not gonna argue with that. Alright, so thank you for being here. See you next week, next Wednesday for the live one. Thursdays for the map making stream, which I'm alone to do, and Fridays for the rebroadcast of the Wednesday, but at a Eastern hour, an hour that's more suited for Eastern viewing, Eastern Coast viewing. That's it. That's everything I have to say. Anyone wants to say something before I say goodbye to everyone?
Good night.
Well, that's good also. All right. See you next week. As always, stay safe and stay healthy. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
See ya.